Hello, J-Lo. I need you to read Bible for me. If you're available, I would like us to work. I like us to work. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this session. This is going to be a bit of a biblical and at the same time, a logic-driven session. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I appreciate you. Thank you, all of you, for coming. And God bless you. Let us start with a quick prayer. Heavenly Father, I come before you to thank you for everything you've done in our lives. I thank you for the kindness, the mercy, the love, and the wisdom you've poured upon us. And I ask that this generation continues to rise in knowledge and wisdom. In Yahushua's name I pray. Amen. So, welcome. The topic is Missing Ejiro, a power corrupted church. A power corrupted church. J. Lu, I said I need you to read Bible for me. I hope you can try. You see, sometimes I feel sorry for people like Ejiro, and sometimes I don't feel sorry for them. Because the easiest way to catch a woman is to go through religion. I don't know if you've heard of political ponerology. You could Google it. Political ponerology is a term derived by Andrew Lebowski. Lebowski worked in one of the Polish factions during the World War II. And the thesis, I'm going to try to break this down because it's a lot of academic work. Let me just try to break it down into a few aspects. According to Lobachevsky, power attracts pathological personalities. The problem isn't that power corrupts. The problem is that power seduces the corruptible. Power seduces the corruptible. They see what they can do with it. People who are not okay. People who don't think like normal people. People who have an insatiable thirst for control. People who do not care about the well-being of the people under them. They just want the control. They want to be able to control resources. Belinda, if you can read Bible for me, I'll be grateful. They just want to control resources. They want to control the minds of the people. And Andrew Lobachevsky came up with the word ponerology. Now, where did he get this word from? The Greek word poneros, which is the branch of theology dealing with evil. And according to Lobachevsky, all societies fluctuate between good, or should I say happy times, and unhappy times. Now, in the unhappy times, or before the emergence of the unhappy times, you have what you call a spellbinder. I'm going somewhere with this and I need you to listen carefully. A spellbinder hides behind an ideological mask. Listen to this very carefully. A belief system that he uses to gain power. It can be anything from a political movement like obedience to a religious ideology, something that the person came with and was able to rise to power. And it goes a little deeper. Any belief system can be used as an ideological mask. Religion, political beliefs. Now, what these people do is they wear personal masks or ideological masks and are accepted as normal within the spellbinders movement. What is a spellbinder? Somebody who casts a spell. When you hear spellbinder, all you think of is your auntie that is doing you witchcraft from the village. And I'm here to break your heart. The spellbinder is closer to your heart than you can ever imagine. One of the two things I prevent my children from doing is church. Outside Free Nation, I don't allow my children to attend any. Not even, I don't even want you to go and play there. I don't even want you to go and greet your friend there. Stay away from it until you are like 22, 23, when your mind is fully formed and nobody can sway you with ideologies. I don't want church to be the background of my children's thinking. Number two is African magic. No matter how you run away from church, as long as your children watch Nollywood movies, it will point them back to the church. If they are not looking for the church today, they will look for it tomorrow, because they've created a supernatural reality that dominates their natural reality. There is always the spiritual controls the physical realm. And it is enforced by the movies. So no matter how good or strong you are mentally, when something happens to you, or you get something that looks supernatural, the next point you are going to is church. So even if I have parents who prevented their children from going to church in order to protect their minds, there's a lady I know about in Port Harcourt. Her father never allowed them to do birthdays, never allowed them to go to church, never allowed them to do anything. The moment the girl entered uni, she joined Christian Fellowship. From Christian Fellowship, she traveled abroad and met a pastor who told her God told him to marry her. From that point in her life, she knew about 10 years of lack of direction. So no matter how much you raise your children to protect them from the mask, from the ideology, because the first thing I did in my years of study was, the more I studied Christianity, the more I realized that we have a church in Nigeria that is not Christian. It has nothing to do with Christianity. It's just a church based on the ideology or the ideological mask of the Geo or the brand of church that they have. The moment I found this out, it became very scary. Because you see, you submit yourself to an ideology, and the ideology is so powerful that it will control you, even in its absence. Let me talk about Lobachevsky's work a little bit more. According to Lobachevsky, at the height of the sad times, you will now have the rise of the most egoistical of all spellbinders. And the spellbinder worsens the psychological health of those under his influence. And this may be the beginning of a pathocracy. He saw the Second World War. He saw everything that came with it. And he tried to rationalize it, to see how come people are following these people that are not mentally okay. And doing my study on Lobachevsky's work, I departed away from the politics of it and came to the leadership of religion. Because whether you like it or not, a Daddy Geo in Nigeria is as strong, each one of the Daddy Geos is as strong as the Ghanaian president. The amount of people under the control of a Daddy Jew are as many as the amount of people under the control of the Ghanaian government. Because what's the population of Ghana? Ghana has 33 million. There are 240 million Nigerians. If you divide that into two, because Christianity is 50%, if you divide that into two, you have about 120 million. Very easily, each Daddy Geo in Nigeria can hold 30 million to 40 million. The top Daddy Geo, the highest, will hold at least 40 million people, which is more than Ghana's population. Now, many of these men are egoistic. It's about them. That's why you have the God of this Jew that is different from the God of this Jew, even though they claim to worship the same God. Somebody is here asking for help. If it is money, I will block you. We are not sharing money here. I'm not helping anybody with money. Because you are a sinking hole. No matter how much money I give you, to continue to sink into you. One of the biggest churches in Nigeria is currently being labeled an APC church. It's not me that will use my mouth to say it, but you understand where I'm coming from. Now, I need you to work with me. Yeah? Let's go back to Lobachevsky's work. They don't want the power to serve. They want the power to control. They go from Yahushua feeding 5,000 to 5,000 feeding Jesus. That is why I always in the Free Nation make a clear demarcation, clear differentiation between Yahushua and Jesus. Yahushua fed the 5,000. Jesus is being fed by the 5,000. Yahushua's life was service. He was nailed on the cross for you. He washed his disciples' feet. He fed the 5,000. Jesus and the model of ideology through slavery, slave trade, dominance, the crusades, and all that came with the Jesus package is the opposite of Yahushua. Jesus needs you to wash his feet. Jesus wants to nail you on the cross for him. Jesus needs 5,000, in fact 40 million people to feed only him. So we have moved from a Yahushua who was rich but became poor so that you may be rich, to a Jesus who was poor but became rich through you becoming poor. I don't know if you understand the ideology. The Bible says, let me quote it for you. I wish I had somebody to read scriptures for me. I need somebody to work with me on this. 2 Corinthians chapter 8 verse 9, it says, you know the generous grace of our Lord Yahushua, though he was rich, yet for your sakes he became poor, so that by his poverty he could make you rich. Your Jews, 90% of them were born in poverty. Some extreme poverty. They were not rich. How did they become rich? Through you. You believe in the ideology. You give them gifts. You support their mission. You pay your tithe. You sow your seed. They were poor but became rich through Jesus. While Yahushua was the direct opposite. He was born rich to all the highest level of riches, yet became poor so he could make you rich. And look at the church system in Nigeria. Who has the church made rich? The more we build new churches, the harder we pray, the more we fast, the poorer the people become. Somebody will always say, Daddy Freeze, you are 1% of Nigeria. I know. The 99% of Nigeria right now are hearing it. They hear them. Where am I going with all this? That is why in the Free Nation we try to differentiate between Yahushua and Jesus. Jesus is the ideology of the Greco-Roman come British colonialization of the world. And it passes on their mantra, their thought process, their ideology as a source ideology for the rest of the world to fall into line. I'm going to take this a little further. A politician in Uganda had cancer, was flown to Germany to receive treatment. When he survived and when he was healed, he came back to Nigeria to show gratitude to God, to Uganda, I beg your pardon, and to show gratitude to God for his healing, he built a church. Is it church that they carried you to in Germany? How many churches are there that are functional in Germany? You were healed by a hospital. Instead of you to set up a cancer research center or a cancer center or buy radiology machine or buy chemotherapy equipment or go and train the oncologists in Germany on immunotherapy, you built church. Yahushua gives, Jesus takes. I'm going somewhere with this, and I need you to pay attention. According to Lobachevsky, he said once the spellbinder gains control or authority, they don't need everyone to support them. All they need is 6 to 12%, of which are the true believers, opportunists, petty tyrants, and all those who are willing to enforce the will of the regime. Once you have that, the rest of the population falls into place. Not because they believe, but because they are afraid. They're afraid of being ostracized. They're afraid of becoming targets. They're afraid of losing jobs. I'll tell you a story. Bella Niger. Most blogs don't follow people. Insta blog, they don't follow people. But Bella Niger follows people. So Tastebud sent me a message, something from Bella Niger, and I couldn't read it. And I was like, why can't I see this? Apparently their second account had blocked me. So I now use Tastebud's account to view them, because what she sent me didn't come in my account. So I went to her account and then saw it there and then clicked. Bella Niger is following every one of my colleagues on the radio. N6, Kayla, Dotun, even Bolarinwa. They are not following me. You see, once you take a stand against a spellbinder, you will be ostracized, you will be rejected, you will lose jobs. At a point in my life, all the money I made in my life was made from MCing. As in, I'm talking about 80% of the chunk. I have not MC'd since 2017. How many years? 7 years. Anyway, the kind of cars I was driving when I was emceeing. I'm driving 10 times better now. I'm living 10 times better than I was. But at a point in my life, that was my income. Many people know what I'm saying is true, but they dare not use it. They dare not say it. They know it will affect their business. So instead of, some people go to pastors and go and dash them money and form allegiances with them so you can trust their business. That is how MBM Forex went to dash 1 billion naira to one church. Before you know it, everybody in the church invested in the business till they ran away with their money. Sorry, 1 second. Yeah, hello? Hello? People not just this serious for this life. So once you stand up, once you stand up to the spellbinder's ideology, that 12%, 6 to 12% of the population, the true believers, those ones that believe like your parents. Your parents were not conned into believing. They believe. And they forced you to believe. Then there are those who are taking advantage of the belief system. I'm selling cars. The best way for me to get a bulk of people to trust me and trust that my cars are good. I go to a church and I give my pastor a car. And my pastor goes on his pulpit and says, Daddy Freeze is a good car dealer. He's been a member of my church. So what do I use him for? I use him to gain business relevance. Sometimes they use the church to gain political relevance. APC church. Sometimes they use the church to directly even launder money. There are many churches that... But you see, at the end of the day, I'm going somewhere with this. You have people who really understand how to push emotional buttons. I say this all the time. Raise your children. Someone said they can't hear me. Can you hear me better now? Raise your children in such a way that nobody can use emotional buttons on them. And it starts with the home. As a father, if you have issues with your wife or your baby mama or the mother of your children, whatever guys, and you try to use emotional tactics to win your children over, you are training and preparing their minds to be susceptible to emotional manipulation. Thank you, my darling. They brought my breakfast, eggs and sausage. Please, my love, get me ice. You got the sausage. I thought you said the sausage was breaking.
Yeah, I had to
Improvise. What?
Yes,
Huh. I hope it is though. I hope it cook. Hmm? No, really. Sorry, guys. Let me quickly eat. 2 minutes. Help me get that. Oh my God, is it breakfast or lunch? Breakfast. This is the first time I'm eating today. Maybe towards evening I'll eat soup. Brunch. Now these sausages are homemade sausages. So they are not the Frankfurter you buy inside the supermarket. My wife doesn't feed the kids anything that is not homemade. Don't worry, I'm rushing so I can come back to the class. Because where we are going is very important. Someone tell you are enjoying. How is eating at 5 o'clock enjoying? That's not enjoying. I'm going to be 15 in next year. So I have to work on my appetite and my things. Two eggs and a sausage. That's a meal. I really enjoyed it though. I'm actually sabi cook. Once this girl goes to school like this, I meet the suffer am. Thank you guys. Thank you, booby. Give me tissue so I can wipe my mouth out. My mouth will not, the cup will not be tasting egg. You really got this egg. I'll miss you when you go back to school. Will you miss me? Top line. You miss me. Are you sure? What will you miss about me? The stress. Fry egg for me. Scrub this for me. What do you miss about me? What are the other things? Oh yeah, you know we talk a lot. We are talk-a-lot-agosses. Okay, so welcome back. Remove the other one from the freezer so it doesn't burst. So, back to the spellbinder. The spellbinder knows how to push emotional buttons. Remy, if you can read Bible for me, I'll appreciate it. Just say you can read. So the spellbinder knows how to push emotional buttons. And one of the things I did for my kids, two things. I kept them away from church. And I kept them away from African magic. Because if they go to church, the African magic reinforces what is taught in church. African magic reinforces what is taught in church. And the church ideology is designed to, you see, let me tell you something here. How do you make money on YouTube? Can somebody help me? How do you make money on YouTube? How do you make money on YouTube? Thank you, my darling.
Hi, Daddy Faith. Hello, everyone.
Hi. How do you make money on YouTube, Remy?
Get to post videos, make content.
Okay, so that's what you do. But how does the money come?
Yeah, but I have no idea.
Can somebody type? Can somebody help me? How does money come on YouTube? Because there are people who post and still don't make money. Views and likes. So, how does the church build its... The church doesn't need YouTube views, even though our biggest YouTuber in Nigeria is a church. How does the church get its own views and likes? Their physical views and likes. By getting people... On YouTube, you subscribe to a channel. In church, you subscribe to an ideology. And the more you view, the more you pay. Go and watch every single online prayer streaming service. When they are done, they paste account number. When you go to... Each time you go to church, without fail, they collect offering, they collect building offering, they collect seed, they collect tithe. There's no day they will not announce tithe or seed. So imagine a church with 4 people seated. Unless those 4 people are Dangote and Otedola, they will always make more money. Sorry, they will always make less money than a church with 40,000 people. Am I making sense to you?
Yeah.
The views and the likes. Now, there is direct reinforcement. If Dangote... I have friends who have typed amen in all these prayer sessions. The moment you type amen and they see your name, Aliko Dangote, Femi Otedola, Tu Baba Idibia, somebody will contact you immediately. It's called fishing and baiting the congregation. Remember, Yahushua told Peter, you will become a fisher of men, while Jesus fishes from among men. One is a fisher of men. One fishes among men. 200 people will type amen. If Victor Sime types amen, they will call him. If Kano Wanko types amen, they will DM him. If Burna Boy or Davido type amen, they will DM him. They are fishing among the men. They will come and give special prayers. Dora Kunili's son spoke of when his mother was dying of cancer and all the Jews came to pray for her. Your family member will go to that church. How many times they don't use ICGO before? Just think about it. You want to tell me that if $10 goes to a church, why did it... The Trinity Towers problem? Why? Because we paid. And they went ahead and did birthday. In that church, I'm sure people buy every week. But they were not wigways. The reason why that pastor was suspended because they held a party after Wigwe died. You want to tell me that since people have been attending that church for the last 10 years, they know they buy every week. Somebody go buy, or somebody mama go buy, or somebody go shop buy. But nobody's going to notice. Because they are not fishing for you. They have targets. And they go for the vulnerable and the wealthy. You see, when you are vulnerable, you are like a fish in shallow water. You see, When the dry season is coming and the rivers start to dry, if you live near a river, growing up as a child, you will enjoy dry season. Once the river don't dey dry, reach one certain level, everywhere will not be like mud. You go dey pick fish with hand. Someone said it can't be every week. Even if it's not every week, at least every month. There's no if you gather 10,000 people, one person go by like every 2-3 months. The problem is you can't even know. House girl where they go that church where by. How they want take know? They don't go even know. They don't go even know. So I want to come home with this Lobachevsky's ideology of ponerology, the branch of theology that deals with evil, where a spellbinder hides behind an ideological mask, and they use this mask to gain authority. It is called the law of political gravity. And hello, Kerry, how are you doing? And these people who rise into this power are not corrupted by the power. They were not corrupted by power. They were corrupt people seduced by power. And what is the number one power source in Nigeria today? Religion. Church is the only thing that you don't need any verification. All you need is a calling.
You
God
don't even need a
called
call.
me. How can you verify a calling? All I need to do is say, God called me. This thing that I'm doing, I was called by God. God said to me, my daddy in the Lord said to me, you are not fighting against me, you are fighting against my daddy. Church is the only thing, or religion is the only thing. And I'm sorry to say this, for you to become a Quranic, a Muslim leader, you must have gone through some level of, you must have risen in the hierarchy. In Christianity, there's no hierarchy. All you need to do is just wake up one day, especially Pentecostalism. You cannot be, look, Remy, what's going on with the Pope? What's the selection process for the new Pope?
Think, if I remember, they do, I have no idea if maybe 9 days of mourning and then blah, blah, blah. I don't know.
There are some candidates for the new Pope. Right?
Yeah. And I think they pray and then they choose which person, something like that.
All these pastors that I see, some were either kicked out from churches, or some just started their churches. Some were either kicked out of churches, ran away with half of the pastor's congregation, while others, how did they get to where they got to? There's no, in nursing, after a number of years you get here. In banking, after a number of years, there is a steady growth. In church, all you need to do is wake up one day, do a couple of orchestrated miracles, wine people. So I'm a bit hungry, so I need to throw on kuli kuli.
I was just going to ask you about your chewing.
I mean,
Mhm.
I want you to read something for me. 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 6. LLT.
Okay. So it says they are the kind who walk their way into people's homes and win the confidence of vulnerable women who are burdened with the guilt of sin and controlled by various desires.
Where was the book of Timothy written? Give me an idea.
What? When it was
When was it
written
written?
after Christ.
How many years ago? Just give me a rough estimate.
Over 2,000 years ago.
Not maybe around 2,000 years ago,
Okay.
or possibly over 2,000 years ago. You're correct. So 2,000 years ago, women were vulnerable. Read it again, Remy.
They are the kind who walk their way into people's homes and win the confidence of vulnerable women who are burdened with the guilt of sin
One.
and controlled by various desires.
So it is either that you have a burden of sin or a control by desire. Ejiro was missing 2,000 years ago. Ejiro was missing 2,000 years ago. Now, when they find Ejiro, they not see him. Now, in Paul write this letter to Timothy. Continue reading the next verse.
These teachers, such women, are forever following new teaching, but they are never able to understand the truth.
So, 2,000 years ago, Ejiro was looking for a new teaching. In as much as we are going to gather and say Ejiro is a victim, we must also understand how Ejiro rose into power and how the prophetess gained, how Ejiro got into the spell of the spell binding prophet. This thing I'm reading to you, have you ever read it inside the Bible before?
Actually, no.
It sounds strange. Some guy said to me 7 years ago, said, Daddy Freeze, it's like when you are talking, things start appearing inside our Bible. It's almost like I put it there. Who would have believed that there is actually a Bible teaching that talks specifically about women being vulnerable? That talks about women running towards every new teaching. That talks of the burdening of sin and desires. I want to have a husband. I want to have a male child. I want my business to flourish. And then you become like a river in the dry season where people can literally pick fish from the ground. Why did I go so deep into Lobachevsky's work? Because I wanted to create the spellbinder so you understand the spellbinder. Step 2 is to understand the spellbound. Am I communicating right? What do you understand as the spellbinder?
Our pastors. I mean, they come and say prophecies or things that you want to hear, and then you are spellbound.
And then
by
you are
these
the
things.
one. God bless you. Now I want you to read Titus chapter 1 verse 11.
It says they must be silenced because they are turning all families away from the truth by their false teaching. And they do it only for money.
So, Ejiro is not a new situation. Ejiro happened 2,000 years ago. The first verse, Remy, help them. 2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 6.
To 8.
And the second one, Titus chapter 1 verse 11. The easiest and most destructive person in a home is the woman, the matriarch, the mother, because she is in charge of the minds of the children. And if she is vulnerable, she will destroy the children. Men, start taking charge of your homes. Start understanding that you can never understand some things that women understand. You can't. A man is connected to a child indirectly. A woman is connected to a child directly. So if anything happens to a woman's child, the woman is vulnerable.
Okay, DF, can I add something there?
Please go ahead.
Okay. So when I was in Nigeria, I used to go to this church where the pastor used to prophesy, give nearly 100% accurate prophecy. Yes, she had more women in the church, and I'll tell you why. The majority of these women were struggling in their marriage because they didn't have that communication or with their husbands, or they didn't have a good marriage. And the things that brought them to the church was mostly for their marriage. And then, pray for their husbands to have money and all of that. But I feel that if these women have a close relationship with their husband, you will hardly see that kind of woman in church running after pastors.
Now,
This is
I understand what you are saying, and you are 100% correct. But that woman who has a close relationship with her pastor, let her have an autistic child. Let her have a sickle cell child. Let her have a Down syndrome child. You will notice that the vulnerability comes from the husband cannot protect her because she keeps looking at her child, and all somebody needs to do is whisper to her that this thing, now your husband girlfriend, though. You get one girl with your husband breaking heart. Now in cost this.
Yeah, it still depends on the kind of relationship she has with her husband. If they both work together and they're very close, it would take a whole lot.
You are right, and I agree with you. You are right.
Yorubas would say, if there's
Togi
no
Yoruba
opening to the
lanu.
wall, yes, no reptile will crawl in. And that is why pastors are able to, come into the homes of these women, because the things that the husband is not able to share with the wives, the pastor is telling them.
Now, you also need to understand that there are homes where the husband is the wife is taking the lead. I've seen many homes like that. When the wife takes the lead, she might be more aggressive. She might be the financial breadwinner, but she still has the vulnerability of a woman. And the vulnerability of a woman comes from children. No matter how rich a woman is, if she can't have a male child, she feels vulnerable. In today's world, there's exposure. But I'm talking about as far back as...
She feels vulnerable because the husband is putting that pressure on her.
Sometimes it's not the husband. Sometimes the husband is protecting her from his own family. Sometimes it is her own mother. This one where you never born son for your husband. If another woman get belle for her and born son, sure you know say all these children will become number 2. that one will become number one, even though na last born.
There's a pressure somewhere. Yes.
There's a
It might
pressure
not be
somewhere.
because-
But what I'm trying to explain to you is it's not necessarily because of her husband. It's mostly because of her
Yeah.
vulnerability.
Yeah.
And a woman's vulnerability, forget desires, children, number. Every woman that I've seen that fell prey to church, marriage is one of the things. The most secure 100%. If you want to mess with the woman, just tell her, say, Peking go buy. Finish. A woman antenna will stand like cockroach own the moment she hears anything her child.
I believe a man will do the same.
Not on the level of a woman. Not on the level of a woman. A woman will do anything for her child. A woman will run into fire quicker than a man for her child. Or
Yes,
most
there
women.
are some women.
That's why I said I quickly added most women.
Yeah, there are some women that know how to. You see, the love for if when a woman transfers her love to her kids, it means something has gone wrong, because the kind of love she will get from the kids is different from the love she will get from the husband. She cannot get intimacy.
Let me explain it to you. Let me explain this thing to you. A woman's love is her children. It is the husband that has to put his foot
not
down.
all the time.
Let me tell you something. A woman, no matter how much she loves her husband, no matter how much she wants intimacy, if her baby cries and the baby wants to sleep in the bed with them that night, the woman will allow it.
But do you know some men would listen more? Yeah, I don't even want us to go back and forth on this, but there are some men
No, go on, I'm enjoying it.
Right, there are some men that would. I know women that will send the child back because they want to spend that time with their husband.
It's
mostly
men.
That will now say, what?
It's mostly men. Men mostly are. You see, when we are talking about majority. You are right, because there are some women who are not attached to children. I've seen women who are distanced from children, and if you also notice, those women.
It's not that they are not attached. They understand that these children are manipulating.
Very few women understand that children are manipulative. My wife can never understand. It took her like 5 years to understand that children are manipulating.
They are manipulated.
It took like 5 years for her to, because I can see my baby when it's manipulating. I can see, but she can't. A woman can't see it. So what am I trying to say? I need you to understand that woman that cannot be manipulated by her children is not likely that she'll be manipulated by pastor. Because there is an emotional distance she's seeing with her man. You see, when it comes to a woman's child, a woman does not think. I had a friend, no, maybe women are, but most of the women have. Let me give you an example.
Some women, okay.
Let me give you an example. A woman came to me once and said her sister cannot have children, that they were thinking of getting, and all the people they met for surrogates were asking for £30,000, $20,000, all of them asking for ridiculous amounts of money. So she said her sister and the sister's husband approached her and asked her if she would be a surrogate. And because it's her sister, she had no problem with it. I can do it for my sister. But then she told her husband at home, and her husband said if she does it, he'll divorce her. And I was a bit worried. I'm like, why is your husband like this? So I tried to reach out to the husband and have a conversation with him. And he gave me his reasons. He said, when his wife, they have 3 kids. His wife, throughout the pregnancy, she farts uncontrollably. Throughout the pregnancy, from the moment she's like 3 months pregnant, he can't touch her. You know, there are some women that throughout the pregnancy, when I go, they bench, they go. This one, from 3 months till like 2 months after she gives birth, he cannot touch her. Everything is sore, everything is pain. He said the only reason that would make him is for his wife to sign that he can have a second wife or a side chick while she's going on with the pregnancy for her sister. Because he cannot sacrifice 11 months. He cannot sacrifice the smell of the woman farting from night till morning. He knows what he went through. That there were sometimes woman will fart, he will vomit. To the wife is not seeing, the wife is saying, my sister, let me help her get a baby. My sister doesn't have a sister, he doesn't have a baby. The man is seeing all he went through for his own 3 kids, and when he was done having the third one, he was even ready to go and remove go and do vasectomy so that the woman will not get pregnant again. Because of waiting in eyes see during the pregnancy. Now you want to emotionally. Did she sit down and actually logically think about this? She just, that's how a woman thinks, like that. My sister can't have a baby. I can help. I will help.
Some women, dear, don't generalize.
I'm sorry. Let me not generalize. But most women, maybe not for the sister, but if something like that occurred with a child, they would take that decision on the spur of the moment. And that spur of the moment decision, that being able to tap into, someone said, Ella said, that's family. Yeah, that's family. You will help your sister build her own and ruin your own. Because I thought about it. When the guys, after the guy spoke, initially I was like, this guy. After the guy spoke, I thought about it. I cannot allow my wife to do it.
But did she go ahead with it?
She didn't. I don't know where they ended. I've stopped talking. This happened like 7 years ago.
Right.
So I've lost contact. Maybe I should even look and see if I still have their number to know what happened. But when I heard when the man sat down and tabulated, this is the reason, this is the reason, this is the reason, this is the reason, this is the reason. His wife was moody throughout the pregnancy, craving throughout the pregnancy. He's petting her throughout the pregnancy. At the end of the day, there's something at the back of my mind that, okay, this is the last child. Yes, this is our last born. It's like you are running a relay. It's like when I do 100 press-ups, the first 20 are easy. The next 20 begin to tell. The next 20, that's 40 to 60, you begin to lose steam. Once you get to that 60 to 80, I can get to 80, I can get to 80. That 80, you are on your way out. So you are just pushing the last 20, looking at the goal ahead that, once I have this child, I'm done. So he looked at it holistically. He didn't look at it from an emotion. He didn't, it's my family. Oh, no. This is how much I had to go. Forget the wife said, hey, but they'll pay all the hospital bills. The hospital, are they going to buy you a machine that's going to stop you from farting? Are they going to buy you a machine that's going to stop you from waking me up in the middle of the night that you want to eat Indomie? You understand? He said he doesn't mind that if they are trying to get money for, what's that thing called? IVF. That he doesn't mind helping contribute. But that his wife, he will be denied of benching his wife for 11 months. He will have a side chick. He did it 3 times for his children. He's not ready to do it again under any guise. And if she goes ahead, he will either they divorce or he has a side chick, and she must agree that he has a side chick. Then she can go and do whatever she wants for her family, and she will live with them until she gives birth and can come back home and continue where she stopped.
Well, I hope she didn't do it.
I told her not to, but women can be very stubborn. It's my sister, it's my sister, it's my sister. You understand?
Because it would be unfair on the guy, to be honest.
Of course it will be unfair. Now, if both of them agree Do you understand? And say, okay, you know what? Let's do this for your sister. Then it's a different case. But from the get-go, the guy has just looked at his own suffering, his own discomfort, what he went through. You understand? Let's imagine it's just 12 months of no benching. 12 months of no benching and cravings and bad mood and vomiting. And as in, you go don't wake up. Now, her vomit, now they wake him up for morning. Said she particularly has, she has easy childbirths, but difficult pregnancies.
Because it will affect the man. So you know when a woman is pregnant, yeah, the pregnancy kind of like
Now
affects
she's
the
going
man
to
as
give,
well.
now she's going to go through, remember, you are carrying a child that's not your own.
2 years, to be honest, 2 years.
So you are carrying a child that is not your own. So at every junction, you look at the child and you are going to give the child to somebody else. Baba, you don't want to deal with that madness. One day she could just begin to cry.
And even after delivery, our hormones will still be like heightened. Our body will take some time for the body to adjust and all of that. So yeah. The
Initially, I used to think that, this is something. When I thought about it, I was like, no way. No man, unless he really, really wants to help the sister and really loves the sister, no man should be put through that level of stress. You understand? I don't know whether women enjoy pregnancy. Men don't. It's a stressful time.
It is.
It's stressful. Maybe your first child, oh my God, my wife, we are pregnant. By the time you don't born the second one, now you go on that. You see, when you never do something before you go this, you want to know what it feels like. Once you've done it like this, is okay. So I'm trying to establish the vulnerability of women and the tendency for them to lead men into, or to lead their children into spells. They easily become spellbound and are easy victims for a spellbinder. If we are to use Lobachevsky's analogy. And there is where Ejiro sits. Ejiro is now. A lot of people say, like Ella just typed, I'm not vulnerable. Well, how much of life have you seen at 23 that makes you know that you are not vulnerable? Make life no deal you card. You see, if you have a problem, normal thing where you go collect them as solution. If you have a problem, I'll tell you what happened during Ebola. My dad is a doctor. During Ebola, they say be bathing with salt and be drinking salt. That it will help cleanse Ebola. I'm not too sabi book, but how does salt remove a virus? It made zero sense to me. My dad is a doctor. My dad called. He said some of his colleagues are discussing it, and they said that there's no harm in trying, just to protect ourselves. Do you know, Google Ebola. More people died because of drinking salt than from Ebola itself. At the end of the day, salt has it does nothing to the Ebola. But you see, when you are vulnerable, when there's a time of panic, even the most logical My father is a doctor. My father went to medical school in Romania. The father has practiced medicine for 50 years or 45 years. 50 years. In fact, 55 years, Seth. And yet, because of a panic situation, he became vulnerable. And I was this close to joining my father in this drinking salt. Something just kept holding me back. It doesn't make any sense. BKL Beauty said my mom called me to drink and bath with salt there. It's a time of mass hysteria. And a population becomes vulnerable. Now, I need you to understand Nigeria right now. Nigeria is at a juncture where the population is vulnerable. There is no money. There are kidnappings. There's no security. There's no hope. So the people are vulnerable. And out of vulnerability, they turn to the only thing that looks like hope: religion. But I'll tell you this for free. Religion has never given anybody hope. It has only given the illusion of hope. And to abolish religion, according to Karl Marx, as the illusory hope of the people, demands that you give the people real hope. So religion works contrary to hope, because religion prevents you from getting real hope. Instead of building a school, you build a church to get hope. And when you build a church, you deny yourself the hope of a hospital. The Ugandan politician went to Germany not because they have good churches there, but because they have good hospitals there. All the while, he was denying his people of good hospitals and came to build extra churches where they already have more than enough churches. So, to abolish religion, according to Karl Marx, as the illusion of hope of the people, demands that you give them real hope. Because if you want people to give up illusions about their conditions, you must give them conditions that do not warrant illusions. The condition of the average Nigerian today warrants an illusion. There is no logical solution to the current predicament a Nigerian has found himself in. And that has made him vulnerable. So when you combine the vulnerability created by a political tragedy, if I may call it that, a political apathy, a political situation where the political gravity is sucking people in, and then you combine that with a climate, a traditional climate that is unfavorable to women and makes women feel insecure. By the time a woman is 35, if she's not in her husband's home, there's something wrong with her. By the time a woman does not have a male child, there's something wrong with her. If a woman got married and did not get pregnant, there's something wrong with her. Even if it is the husband that is infertile, there's a problem with the woman. So you now have a society collapsing under political gravity. So everybody is vulnerable. And then you have a situation where the women are now particularly vulnerable because they are vulnerable to what every other member of the population is vulnerable to. And now you add the woman tragedy of Africa. A woman's clit is the only organ in the whole body of male and female that is designed only for pleasure. There's no other organ in your body. It must have a primary. Your throat is stimulated by sweet food or savory food, but the primary function of your tongue is not to have sweet food, is to be attracted to sweet food so you can feed. The only organ in the human body that is only there for stimulation is that woman's organ. In Africa, they remove it. Somebody said the NIPPLE. It is there for drinking, what is it called? For feeding your child.
Yeah, that one is kick and start.
Which one?
The NIPP is the kick.
But what I'm saying is it has a function outside of kick and start.
Yeah, you're right.
It's not made only for kick and start. The mention the function of the CLIT.
Just said it.
It's just pleasure. That's all. Someone said they don't need it just like the appendix. No. You need both your appendix. People who have the appendix removed are more prone to digestive tract issues. The appendix has its own function. But when it gets inflamed, they remove it. So even though the NIPPLE is very powerful when it comes to stimulation, it is still used to feed Peking. That is what the baby puts inside mouth. Abi Remi, you fed before, Abi? Do you put the bottom of the, is it not that thing that you put inside their mouth? That's the tap now. So it might have its sensory functions, but its primary function. Now when you get belle, now you go understand the function of them. You be small picking, they go up and down. The only thing is when they pull it, you just like this, that's all you know. But the day that other one has no function except pleasure. Why is it removed in women? In Africa?
To deny her pleasure.
To deny. So it's like Africa works against the woman. If a woman, Oprah Winfrey, is childless and husbandless and does not feel all the less for it. So you now have a double tragedy for a woman in Africa. You have the political gravity sucking everybody in like a black hole. And then you now have the fact that as a woman, you're already vulnerable. So you have a double portion of vulnerability. And I've had this argument with many people before. Gorgeous Polar. They say to curb promiscuity, they circumcised. You see, a woman's promiscuity is not caused by pleasure. Let me explain it to you. A woman that is sleeping with her boss to get promotion, is she promiscuous or not?
Please.
Is she sleeping with her boss to enjoy it?
Not exactly.
A woman, do you know how many girls I've carried in my time of life that Taulo shows and were circumcised? They are doing it for the money. They are not doing it for the pleasure. You'll be amazed at the women who are promiscuous. 60% of them is not for the pleasure. It is for something else. It's either for a promotion. You want to act in Nollywood, and the producer says you must sleep with him. Are you going to sleep with the producer to enjoy it, or you are going to sleep with the producer to get a role? You are about to be kicked out of university because you were not able to pass a course, and the lecturer says, sleep with me, I will pass you. Are you sleeping with the lecturer because you are enjoying it? Half the time when you are sleeping with him, your mind is already, I hope that he will not finish doing this thing and still not pass me. So when you link promiscuity or unchastity to pleasure, it becomes dangerous. Yes, there is pleasure. But when you raise your women well, your woman will not, because she's ovulating, go and sleep with a man. And that is why I also teach my women that there is the whole and there is the whole. I need to do one of those, my quick 1-minute teachings on the whole and the whole. Women need to understand the whole with W and the whole with H. The H sometimes defines the W. A woman with a good W but a bad H can be disqualified by a man, because part of what he's looking for in the whole is the whole. And for a woman, these are some of my very early teachings. And for a woman, you need to understand that your whole can define your whole to you. A woman does not know what she can do. A man is more likely to give you an accurate prediction of what he can do than a woman. Because a woman at the beginning of her cycle can tell you, I will never sleep with this guy. And this guy is all of a sudden saying the right things and she's ovulating. The total dynamics have changed. And this same woman is sitting next to this guy. He's saying the right things, but she has hit menopause. He's talking to a brick wall. So, a woman who is ovulating, a woman who is just a random day on her cycle, and a woman who is premenopausal or menopausal are three different women, and they can't understand what each other is going through. It will always seem alien to them. So sorry, before you say it, let me just end so I don't lose my train of thought. So as a woman, you also need to make whole decisions based on your, because when you know you like it, we like this thing more than ourselves. The only problem is people are selectively judgmental. Somebody that likes food to a point where it almost looks obsessive cannot understand why the next person likes to bench. And they pronounce judgment on the person, forgetting that gluttony was also a sin. Surrendering yourself to food was also a sin. A sin on the same level as being drunk and on the same level as many of the vices that we have today. So as a woman, don't, because the man is gentle, follow the man when you know you like to be benched. You like to be strangled when you are being benched. You now go and marry pastor that will do, bless you, O Lord, Father, this thing we're about to do, if it turns into a child, let it be a good child. Father, bless. You will cheat. One day he will not be around for 2 months. He went to do a course and you'll be on that ovulation, and then you will run into a man that says the right thing, and before you know it, your eye has cleared. Sorry, Remy. I didn't want to lose that train of thought. Back to you.
Just to say that our hormones does not always control us. As a matter of fact, women are smarter than you think, DF. I would say it is more about temperament than hormones. Yes, we have hormones, just like men do.
I would disagree with you, because I've met more women than you have. And I'm pulling my study from a cross-section of, I'll say 500 women.
I'm not
you are a smart woman. You understand? A lot of
Right.
women make hormonal based decisions. All the women that cheat on their husbands, all the women that have multiple partners, there are things that I have seen. Women can be very, very hormonal. You see,
I know.
let me
I'm not
explain.
saying that
I was having this
people
conversation
do these
with I was
things.
having this conversation with my daughters the other day. Men are polygamous by nature, as trained by society and our adaptation over the years, while women are upgrading in nature. A woman is not wired to be with two men. When I say a woman, I mean 70%. There's that 30% that can handle it. While men are polygamous, I don't mean all men. I mean 70-80% of men are polygamous. Now, how does that play out? Let me explain this to you. In ancient societies, man determined society and society determined man. How? When there were only two people on the planet, you understand? There was really no battle for resources. But by the time the world got to Genesis chapter 13, Lot and Abraham could no longer stay together because they were competing for resources. So there were clashes between Lot's herdsmen and Abraham's herdsmen. So Lot had to move somewhere else. Now, where Lot moved, he got kidnapped and hijacked, and Abraham had to go and fight to get him back. I want us to use this as an analogy. Once people start to increase, they create societies. And when they create societies, they start the conscious and unconscious battle for resources. Now, Abraham and Lot had to separate. Lot had to go his own way. Abraham had to stay back because of resources. Some other people are coming looking for Lot's resources. So, as society evolved and more people came on the earth, there was more reason to control resources. So, people are always fighting for resources. Abraham had to go and fight and get Lot back. So, a man like Abraham who could fight would always get the pick of the women. What does that mean? Because the women don't, those days when they come and plunder, like in Hebrews chapter 7, it says, Copeston, Basilion, the slaughter of the kings. When the onslaught came on, any woman they see is either added to somebody's harem, is forced then and there and buyed, or is sold into slavery. So a woman wants protection. So a man like Abraham that can protect her from the onslaught, she submits herself to him.
So you think that was that was
So
hormonal?
that was the no, that wasn't hormonal. That was strategic. Problem don't come. This is solution. My hold on. So a lot of women submitted themselves to men. Now, as men evolved, one of the desires of being strong and being a conqueror was that you have multiple women at your beck and call. So more men in the society now wanted to have that power. And the power, sometimes they wanted the women, sometimes they didn't want it. The power came with the women. And that is how polygamy grew in the heads of men. Because you can imagine a man that can conquer everything, then the women say, shh, he doesn't know how to do. So he must learn how to do. Because men's egos always need validation. So whether men were polygamous from the beginning or not, society enforced polygamy because a strong man was seen as a man who had a harem. The more wives you had also determined more children you could bear, which also meant the bigger workforce you had. Now, women, on the other hand, society evolved to make them upgraders. I'm married to Lot. They don't come carry us once. If they can't carry us again the second time, waiting go happen. I move to Abraham, who can offer me protection. By default, women are more, like you said, and I agree with you on that, strategic when it comes to their choice of permanent partner. But when it comes to their choice of temporary partner, they can be strategic, but they are not as strategic. Somebody who is available and they can do it and get away with it. Let me tell you, a woman can cheat on her husband and not want to leave a marriage. So it is very tricky. It's not an open or shut case. This is how it happens with men. But you see, in physics, we have what you call the line of best fit. There's some line that cuts across almost all the points. We can hold on to that line and say, okay, a majority of the cross section of this gender think like this. But I can tell you for free, if a woman likes me, Remy, as you did like this, if you like me and me and you are alone and you just came off your period, the resistance you will put up will be far greater than the resistance you will put up if you already liked me and you were ovulating and I'm saying the right things and I'm touching you in the right way. The likelihood that you succumb is higher. That's what gives the hormonal edge. Meanwhile, I'm the same 1st of January till 31st of December, unless I'm ill or I have some external source that creates a hormonal imbalance for me. A woman is hormonally imbalanced every day. Is either more estrogen or you understand what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to tell you is, no matter how good you are or strategic you are, if you like men that smell good, I know that about you. Right. If I were a predator, Remy, I have perfumes you can never resist. I'll just make sure I spend extra time. And let me tell you something, you don't understand how bad men are. When I was at the prime of my worldliness, I will calculate a woman's period and I'll calculate her ovulation and know when to strike. You will offer me this information without you knowing. All I need to do is be your friend. One day you are cranky. Remy, what's wrong with you? Hold on. Remy, what's wrong? You have told me unconsciously. You've told me. How do I know that you like men that smell good? Do you remember that you told me? Not just one gist. I just pick and pack. Just pick. All I need to do is let you gist me about your ex relationship. On a day that you come to me and say, this my boyfriend is so bad, he's so this, he did this, and I just start till I milk all the information I need. So I know the kind of woman you are. Baba, I know the kind of wine you like. I will present it in such a way that for you to resist me, you have to unleash a legion of demons.
I wish it were that easy.
That's what you think. But you see, I'm saying this to you so you're already guarded. If I didn't know you like that, if you were my friend, you understand, if I had the intentions, I can tell you because I don't have the intentions. But if I had the intentions, I would not tell you. I'll just play my game. And even if the first time I come, I look at your body, I can see you are vulnerable, you're not vulnerable enough, I will let it slide and come back again. It is. And why is it so easily done? For me, if you want to seduce me, just remove your top. That's all. Don't need for long story. Just do like this. Finish. But for the woman, the other hand, you have to do your homework as a guy. And that same homework you do is what your pastor is doing to get your wife. And once he gets your wife, he's gotten your household. Whether you agree or not, that is how it works. Over to you, Remy.
Yeah.
Let me don't gentle.
You know me, I don't have the strength to go back and forth on anything.
No.
But
Talk. You see, we're not having an argument or a deliberation. It's me and you.
yeah,
I want you
it's
to
just
understand, because a lot of the
women.
guys seem to be agreeing with me, and a lot of the women too
They
seem to
will
agree with
agree.
me.
They will agree. But let me just say this, right? That here's the problem. Men oftentimes underestimate women, and women use this to their advantage. I was dating this, and I'll say this to you, that women are more strategic than hormonal.
But
If
they are
they're woman,
hormonal. You want to rule out the fact that women are hormonal, Remy?
DF, we all have hormones, just like men have hormones too. And here's one thing I would like to also say, right?
You know what hormonal is?
Right.
You know what hormonal is?
I
Hormonal
agree
is
with
when
you,
your
yes.
hormones fluctuate
Yes.
and
So what
have
about
a
women who are
varying
able to
degree
control?
of control
Wait.
over you.
Wait.
A man is not hormonal.
Wait. You know there are some women that are really healthy and they have balanced hormones. All true.
No matter how balanced your hormones are,
So they make decisions based on
hold
their
on.
hormones.
No matter how balanced your hormones are, when it comes to menstruation, your hormones are different. That you can't be balanced when at ovulation the hormones are different. At menstruation, the hormones are different. After menstruation, the hormones are different. You understand what I'm saying? Now, in different instances, if properly presented with options, now you see, it's not easy to get the options, all of them, all the boxes ticked. But for you to be able to time it in such a way that you are saying the right things at the right time with the right hormones in place, sparks will fly. Sparks will fly. So when we say hormonal, I want you to understand what I say by hormonal. There's a fluctuation. It's never up, it's never down. Men are either up or down or midway. They are always there. Now, what external factors, if the man has testicular CA, for instance, now it will affect his hormones. If he has a thyroid problem, so it has to be an external factor, a disease. Or maybe his diet is lacking, he's not eating the right amount of a certain food source. But you see, a woman, no matter how healthy she is, January 1st, January 14th, and January 31st can never have the same hormones. That's what we mean by being hormonal.
And then she will make decisions based on those hormones.
She won't make decisions based. No, Remy, you are taking it to the extreme. She will not make decisions based on the hormones, but the hormones will influence a decision.
I agree to an extent, but I'm saying not all the time.
Of course not. You see, it's not a science that you can just predict and say, and on this day, so and so, this will happen.
I'm
No.
saying that women may be 10% of the whole decision, but women are way more strategic than you think. They are smarter than you think.
Now. Remember that a girl becomes a woman, Remy. A girl becomes a woman at 18. How strategic is an 18-year-old woman? You become strategic when you enter 30.
Is an 18-year-old boy. How strategic?
The boys never said the boy is not strategic. Boys never argue that they are strategic. They just want it.
Women here, not girls. I'm saying that, I'm saying that because I have
Remy,
and I have friends.
at 21, yes. How strategic. You see, once woman don't born, once she don't marry, she now starts to get more strategic than she was when she was 19, 18. Let me tell you, you are saying women are strategic. Women follow emotions. Women follow. A guy can lie to most of the women who are divorced today. The guy at one point or the other lied to them, and he was able to get past their barricades because of the way he sweet talked them. Do you want to disagree that with me?
I agree.
You have to, because any woman that was that the divorce came from, oh, this guy lied to me. Oh, there was a point where you believed him. How strategic were you when you were believing somebody? And let me tell you, when you believed him and you loved him, everybody will come and tell you that this guy is a player. You will not hear it. So women become strategic the more they have children, the more they see life, the more they experience heartbreak. A woman who has never had heartbreak can never be as strategic as a woman who has had 3 heartbreaks. Baba, you need to understand that. So in as much as yes, you are strategic and all, a man will not fall hopelessly, headlessly in love with a woman the way a woman will fall in love with him. Do you agree with me now, Remy?
Do I have a choice?
No. Talk. Disagree.
No, there's no need. I agree 100%.
No, I don't want you to agree because of coercion. I want you to lay down your points. Because I'm not an expert on women. I'm just sharing my opinion.
You're not. And me, I'm a woman. And I have friends. I know people.
How many? I know more women than all your friends combined.
And that's why I said I believe you 100% because you know more women than I do. I'm just saying that.
So, and there's one question that you've not answered.
Okay.
If all your friends, how many of them are divorced? My wife is divorced. How many of them followed men and all their guards were down, all their strategy crumbled when they fell in love? How strategic were you when you fell in love with that person?
Are you saying now that women that are divorced divorce their husband because their husband lied to them at the beginning?
Yes, not all, but a huge number of them either lied about there was something that was not right, but they couldn't see. You see, when you talk of red flags, when a woman is in love, she can't see the red flags. Try and convince a woman who is in love. They say a woman who is listening to a pastor, people that you cannot convince. A woman who is in love, a mother who is listening to a pastor. I don't know, somebody.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
So, is it possible for a woman to marry a man that she doesn't love, but she has married a man and pretends to love him?
That pretense is where the strategy now comes in.
Okay.
When she was falling in love, there is no strategy. Trust me. See, if you've ever been divorced before.
When she was falling in love, I'm saying that do you know if she actually married him from the beginning and there was no love, but pretended to love him?
The percentage is 2%. The percentage of women that pretended to love men, maybe to get power, maybe to get abroad visa, is small. And when they now break up with the men, once they get, you will know the story. But that most of the people that I see, when I ask them, because I do a lot of counseling, when I ask them, I'm like, didn't you see these signs? And the answer is always, everybody said it, but I just couldn't see it.
Yeah, I do not disagree with you. I'm just saying that don't generalize, and that women understand.
You see, why am I making this such a big deal?
Okay.
It is because a woman, how many men are being taken the way Ejiro was taken? How many? Like 4 different women from that prayer group have reached out to me. 4 different women. Have reached me from that prayer group. Go and look at all these churches. I don't want to mention names. 90% of the 60 to 90% of the congregation are women. 60 to 90% of the congregation, 60 to 90% of the victims are women. So there must be something. Do you understand what I'm saying, Remy? There must be. The Bible verse you read, why didn't they say men? Please go and read it again. 2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 16. Please read it. 2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 6. I beg your pardon. 6 and 7. Please read it.
One moment. Oh, sorry.
How many men will close their business and follow prophets? Even in the Bible. I want you to read. Let's work together. Work with me. Even Free Nation, majority are still women. 2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 6 and 7. Please help me out, Remy.
They are the kind who walk their way into people's homes and win the confidence of vulnerable women who are burdened with the guilt of sin and controlled by various desires.
7.
7. Such women are forever following new teachings, but they are never able to understand the truth.
Now, why was the emphasis on women? Why was Ejiro able to sell everything she had and follow a prophet? Today's teaching is Missing Ejiro, a power corrupted church. Maduka Koscharis, thank you, Jiga. Follow the call of God, sell Koscharis. Now, I want to give you this biblically again. Remy, go and read Matthew chapter 19. I want you to read from verse 16.
Someone came to Yahushua with this question. Teacher, what good deed must I do to have eternal life? Why ask me about what is good? Yahushua replied, there is only one who is good. But to answer your question, you want to receive eternal life. If you want to receive eternal life, keep the commandments.
Continue.
Which ones? The man asked. And Yahushua replied, you must not buy a person. You must not commit adultery. You must not steal. You must not testify falsely. Honor your father and mother. Love your neighbor as yourself. Love your neighbor as yourself. I have obeyed all these commandments, the young man replied. And what else must I do? Yahushua told him, if you want to be perfect, go and sell all your possessions and give the money to the poor, and you'll have treasure in heaven. Then come, follow me.
Now, what did the man do when Christ gave him this option? Please read.
But when the young man heard this, he went away sad, for he had many possessions.
Do you now see the pattern? Do you see the pattern? The man saw Christ. He's not reading about Christ in a book. He's not seeing Christ in a prophecy. He saw Christ in flesh and blood, but was not ready to sell his business. Was not ready to give up to follow. But look at what Paul is warning Timothy about the vulnerable women through whom prophets use to get into the households. And you also see it in Titus chapter 1 verse 11. Please check Titus chapter 1 verse 11.
It says they must be silenced because they are turning whole families away from the truth by their false teaching, and they do it only for money.
Read verse 10 to have an establishment of verse 11.
For there are many rebellious people who engage in useless talk and deceive others. This is especially true of those who insist on circumcision for salvation.
So here is Paul, and remember, this is his quarrel with James and the Jerusalem church. Even though he was under their authority, he more or less rebelled against them, and he was trying to find a punctuation for families going astray. One of the easiest ways for a family to go astray is if you can grasp the woman. And so this is where I want to ask you, because we have men too that have followed bad prophets. But this Ejiro case rings out so loud. This Ejiro case has like an alarm attached to it. And why is that? Because she had heartbreak. Did you watch my live when NHN Couture was here?
I was off and on.
Off and on. I wish you watched it. She went through a bout of heartbreak and became vulnerable. I've been through heartbreak before, and I was vulnerable. And I did do some stupid things. Like my friend that used to drive me up and down was begging me for 50K. I tell her, I say, I no get. Meanwhile, pastor say, make I bring 200K for prayer. I carry 200K, go give pastor. And that my friend, where I no give 50K, now he drive me, go give the pastor the money. Just they look me like this. Now, wow. So yes, you'd become vulnerable, whether you're male or female, because you are buying into a dangerous ideology. You are buying into a mask. You are buying into a spell of a spellbinder, and you can become spellbound. But my message today is not just for everybody. It is a strategic message for women. I remember how my mother's friends would come to the house. You know, I was a kid, so they thought I was daft. When I was very young, they used to think I was daft. It was such a lovely time of my life because I could see through everyone. And I used to look at them as daft, but I was glad they called me daft. And my mother's friends would say things about my dad to my mom, thinking I'm just a kid. I'll just be there playing like I don't care about what they're saying. But one antenna is open, listening to everything. And I know there's steps my dad took, stupid steps, because it ended up ruining his growth at the end of the day. But they were not steps taken out of. My father did not just wake up and take them. It was his reaction to the advice my mother got from her friends. And my mother doesn't talk to any of those her friends today anymore. Those friends that were so important in my mom's life at a point, that were the epicenter of her decision making. She doesn't talk to any of them again. And my warning today, if it was a man that was in trouble, it's like we having Black Lives Matter and an Oyinbo coming and saying all lives matter. That's not the conversation today. The conversation today is, where is Ejiro? We are seeing a pattern. 2,000 years ago, Paul warned Timothy that these women, be careful with them. They are always looking for what is not lost. Do you understand, my darling?
Yeah.
There is a woman that we don't know where she is. 4 different women have messaged me from that group. One said, that if we talk about this, and guess what? All the women that they were mentioning, some other women that are leaders. I'll tell you a story. I know a girl who used to do so well in Abuja. She used to do so fantastically well. But you know, now all this when they control it, their husband, they always they gentle, you know, if you talk. Me. Any madness you want to bring, I will give you the counter madness. Oh. Nobody mad. As a child, I used to tell people that you are not madder than me and you are not more stupid than me. Any level of stupidity you want to descend to, I will match you and beat you. Any level of madness you want to ascend to, I will match you and overthrow you. I'm sure one of the reasons why people no want carry my girlfriend that time be say, are they mad? And the two of us go fight for road. You feel beat me, but say they fight mad person, na problem. Say they beat mad person, na problem. Mad person can't they beat you, na 10 times the problem. So sometimes people just avoid you because of the trouble that you bring. Right? This girl came to came to Lagos and started following one of the women that's being mentioned inside the same Ejiro matter. Now, one of my former colleagues sent me this message. When I'm done with this live, I'll screenshot and send to you private.
Okay.
And the story was, I just saw that woman. This girl came into Lagos after successfully building a business in Abuja. I wanted to expand to Lagos and crumbled, following all these mentors. There's a little girl, a 21-year-old girl whose video I posted the other day. And the conversation was, you are not telling people what you are doing to buy this house in Lekki. You are not telling people what you are doing to buy that Range Rover. And many people subscribe to your ideology. There are people who make money from teaching people how to do business. Robert Kiyosaki. How many businesses has Robert Kiyosaki successfully done? Meanwhile, he's teaching everybody how to do business and selling books on how to do business. So women sometimes fall for this mentor. Oh, she's my mentor. Now, you need to also understand that it's also coming from a place of women have been subjugated. I talked about the CLIT. The only organ in the human body that is meant only for pleasure is removed from a woman. You understand what I'm telling you? Matthew 15, Matthew 16, Christ fed the 4,000 and the 5,000, not counting the women and the children. Women were not counted. Women were inherited as property. So right now, women are coming with the built-in emotion that we are at the back. They don't want us to feel pleasure. They don't want us to be part of in the whole Nigeria. How many senators do we have that are women? How many governors do we have that are women? Is it even a ratio of 10 to 1? Is if not even 10%. That's how bad it is. So by default, women already come with this charged personality that no, I'm not going to agree. I'm going to do this. I have to rise. So it's already built in them. And sometimes the person they are fighting against is supposed to be the person that is working with them. That's their husband. So they fight their husband at home. They dominate their husband at home and go and meet a fellow woman who now sells them a spell, binds them with the spell, and takes everything away from them, including their sanity. And that is where we are with Ejiro. And that is why I'm making this more women focused. Because of, is not, yes, all lives matter, but the conversation today is Black Lives Matter. Do you understand me, Remy? Let me not push it any further. Do you understand me?
Yeah, I do.
Do you understand the pain? You see, you are not the majority, Remy. You are the smart one. You are the one who is in control of her emotions. It's like me. Sometimes when people say Nigeria is bad, I just ate 2 eggs and a homemade sausage. I'm going to eat efo with only meat and fish, no eba. So I don't understand how bad the Nigeria is. I'm 1%. You understand? And sometimes when we make decisions for the 100%, we end up not properly representing the 99% that we're not a part of. As you see my mama, my mother started becoming strategic in her 40s. Everything else she did before then was emotional. Is either for her children or for her husband. I have a wife at home. My wife started becoming strategic after her divorce, or when she realized that she was going to get a divorce. Before then, it was emotions, it was love. Do you understand what I'm telling you? I want to help that woman who has not gotten your strength of strategy. Now, you need to also understand that a woman way in uncle don all this thing where you learn as heartbreak, you learned it in old age or from your 20s or from your first marriage. E get woman way by the time she turns 6, 5 family members don't force her. The likelihood for her to go into love is so much less than a woman that was shielded all her life and read Mill and Boone and watched Indian movie. Do you understand what I'm telling you, Remy? By the time she was 6, 5 people don't already bench her, and now all family members where she trust. How is she going to trust? A man is now coming to her and say, baby, I love you. Is that now my uncle said he loved me and told me to sit on his lap? Do you understand, Remy? So strategy is often born out of the need to survive when love fails. Of course, there's always going to be that 1%, 2% that from young, they don't sharp. But you see, no matter how sharp a woman is, when she meets that one guy, she drops her guard. Things that she swears that she will never do, you will find her doing them. Now, sometimes when being saved from one guy, you are running to protection and you are falling into the hands of a pastor. And I think that's what happened in Ejiro's case. Ejiro's, for you to be able to build a business, for you to be able to go to London and go and get more information and knowledge, you are not a stupid person. Do you know how hard it is to build in this economy? Do you know how hard it is to build a business in this economy? But then you are able to build it. And what makes you now fall? What makes you sell everything you own? Everything you've built? Everything you've sacrificed for? What makes you put it off? There's got to be something. And that is what I'm honing in on. And it is my duty and my job to protect every woman out there, to protect Ella, to protect the younger, vulnerable ones, the unmarried ones, the ones going through a divorce, the ones who were impregnated and the husband ran. It is my duty to help the vulnerable woman, because one of the reasons why I set up the Free Nation, and that's why we have such a hardcore woman structure, is because we set it up to protect the women who were single, who were separated, who were divorced, who were ostracized, who were widowed, and made vulnerable by their situation. Those are my thoughts. I need to run and jump on a Zoom call right now. Any question, Remy, in 1 minute?
No questions.
You are good.
Yep.
All right. So let me end this here, and we'll come back later to make it more light. But remember, yeah, as a woman, you need to guard your mental health. Remy, do you want to gist with them while I take this call? Hello? How are you doing, brother? Very well, thank you.
Obi said that she's under a spell. I mean, I won't even want to conclude until
Yes, very good. And I'm still live. So I'm just going to just quickly put somebody to talk in place and then come and talk to you, because I'm in the middle of my life. Let me,
and then decides to sell everything.
no, let me, I need to,
you know, there could be something. DF said there could be something. So I would want to conclude that she's that she actually fell. Something may have happened, who knows? Maybe it could have been done, maybe she was forced to, until we hear from both sides, really. Until we hear from both sides. I feel sorry for her. So someone says she's not saying now. Well, only God knows what she went through. But as I was saying, women are not all women are, should I say, gullible. Women are smarter than people think. Belinda, how are you? Women are smarter than what people think, or than men, more than what men think. They are very strategic. But they use that, the way men underestimate them, they use it to their advantage. And someone asked a question before now and said, do men even like women that are strategic? Well, that's the point. That's the point. That was a good question. Do men like women that are strategic, women that are smart, that are intelligent? Some men do. They say they do until they find themselves with that kind of woman, and then she begins to question a lot of things that they say or do and fact check them. Then they don't like them. And then they name them as stubborn or arrogant. And sometimes, like I was trying to tell DF, sometimes women make decisions based on more, I think it's more on their temperaments rather than their hormones. Rather than their hormones. If not, I think the world would be in more chaos than now if women acted more on their hormones or make decisions based on their hormones, rather than strategy or using their brains, their intellect. The world would be in more chaos than it is. Thank you, Dr. John Jade. Strong men don't mind. Exactly, men that are secure, men with a healthy ego, they don't mind. Thank you. Some men don't mind. But a lot of men, they do mind. Because they want to be the smarter one in the room or when they're having a conversation. So some of these women that they have who are possibly smart or maybe smarter than their husband will want to tone down their smartness just so that there will be peace in the home. But when a woman cheats or when a woman makes, because in this context here, if it's talking about cheating and, well, I can't say for pastors, but when a woman cheats, if she tells you it's because of her hormones, don't believe it. It's a lie. She always wanted to. Yeah, I'm just saying that the Optimist Digital said a woman is strategic. Strategic is not being stubborn. Yes, it is not. Thank you. But I'm saying that men that are insecure or have an inflated sense of ego, would call a woman such as that stubborn. They will use stubborn, or they will say that she's not submissive, But a woman that is smart or that is intelligent is intelligent. It will be hard for a person to just, or for a man to just say something and then she will not break that information down, process it, and then know whether it's right or wrong, And depending on the temperament, she will bring it up. A woman that is a phlegmatic will not say anything because she's generally quiet. She might not say anything. But a choleric will say something. She will speak up. And it might then turn into an argument. And this will cause frictions between them. Yeah, some men like strong women. Some like them from afar, but they don't want them under their roof.
So do you understand? I'm so sorry for everything that.
But that women are.
Thank you.
I agree with DF. It's not like I disagree with him. I agree with him to an extent, but I'll say that not every decision a woman makes is based on their emotions. And then you were saying something about me liking perfumes. It takes more than just your perfume.
Remy,
A
don't
guy's
take it as an
perfume.
onslaught, oh, please, oh, don't take it as a, I
Right,
just
okay,
gave
that's
that
fine.
example. You need to understand me in something, eh?
Yeah.
I don't want to bruise your ego or make you feel. I'm more than worried for you or me. I'm more worried about Ejiro and the next Ejiro that is waiting to happen. Do you understand, Remy? So
Yeah.
you are one of the people in the Free Nation that is closest to me. Somebody that I consider someone I can pick my phone, and you see, everybody is close to me because everybody can call and talk about their problems. I'm close to very few people because it's only few people I can call and talk about my problems. And if you happen to be among those few, if you
Yes.
happen to be among those few, just know that I'm very close to you.
Okay.
Sure, you get. So me sharing this with you, or me having this conversation with you, is more so about the future of Ejiro than it is about me or you. I'm not always right. I'm very often wrong. But I did a lot of research. As a sociologist, I went through, because I remember the whole political gravity situation and Andrew Lubachevsky's work. I went to sit down and try to study how people are able to control other people. And I saw that a lot of the framework for this was done by Lubachevsky. And also, our churches rely, just like the Bible warned 2,000 years ago, about the vulnerability of women who are looking for what is not lost. So if you, Remy, you are not in church because you are not being duped by a church because you are strategic, you are intelligent. But look at Ejiro. And look at all the women. If I show you one girl's call, this was a girl that they said was there. She also attended the seminar. I've been trying to call her back to back. She has been trying to call me back to back. You can see the missed calls. She was one of the girls they mentioned yesterday. So these women are going through a lot. And the solution sometimes seems this. I know someone who has an autistic child, and they kept telling her that this autism, you can pray it away. Baba, she went to join this prayer meeting. Every morning they'll be shouting, shouting, shouting. The child is still the way it is. Those are just my thoughts, and these are my worries. I have more daughters than sons. You understand? I have more daughters than sons. And some people say, instead of teaching your daughters, teach your sons too. If my son gets a woman pregnant, what's the worst thing that will happen to him? They will take out of his paycheck. Abby? If my son gives a woman pregnancy, what's the worst that can happen to him? They will take out of his paycheck. Abi Remy? My daughter will have to defer her admission. She will have to put inside the pikin mouth. You understand? Yes.
Yeah, it will affect her more.
It will affect her more. So I need to protect the more vulnerable species. Do you understand?
Yeah.
That's why pandas are protected. Because they are very, very vulnerable. That's why koala bears are protected. Where is Dr. John J? Make you can't talk.
I agree that women are more vulnerable, DF. I agree with you. I agree with you to a large extent, really. I'm just saying that that sometimes women like to sometimes pretend as if they don't know anything or that they are dumb to a guy because it is what the guy likes. But then when we are by ourselves, start to laugh.
You see, now let me mess with you, Remy. That woman that successfully does all that, she will meet that one guy. We go mess him totally.
Just like a smart guy to meet a girl that
Jigito.
is smarter than him. And then
Now, Jim, you do.
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh.
And they usually take care of my gym. And I enjoy the conversation. And I put some comments. See?
And they see
I greet you, my sister Remy.
hello, Jiga.
Yeah, love. Anyways, yeah. Quick one because I did work out. See, I feel like, yeah, women are quick to get defensive when they hear the truth. And because of that, they don't really listen to what the truth is or key into it because they just go on the defensive. See, if we sit down with Ejiro, before what happened to her, you'll find out that she's a smart woman. She'll probably sound like Remy. You know what I'm saying? She'll probably say the same thing Remy is saying right now. That I'm not like this, I'm smart. And when you look at what she has acquired, you'll be like, wow, this is an intelligent woman, this kind of woman I want. Until the deed is done. I agree with what Remy said that women are strategic, yes. But yes, women only become strategic after they've been through certain things. You know what I mean? After my brother Vic, I greet you. After they've seen the dark side of the moon, you know what I mean? That's when they become strategic. But even in their strategy, emotion still play a major role. Even no matter how strategic a woman is, no matter how smart a woman is, yeah, you have the two X chromosomes. Biologically, there's a default in terms of your hormones and imbalance and your emotions. There is a default. We cannot deny that. We've seen it every day. Go to the church if it's filled with women. Go online and see how many people are getting scammed in those dating sites. More of the women than men. More of the women than men. Why is that? Is it because that the men are? No, it's because the women are weak in a way. And over time, men, we as humans, we've understood that fact. That's why you see they say protect the women and children because they're the most vulnerable. They are the most. Like, if you're lying down in bed right now with your wife and you get stung by a scorpion, and the paramedics comes in and they want to treat you, they will treat your wife first. It is the law. In aviation, if they say, oh, God forbid, there's a crash, it's the women and the children that they rescue first.
Titanic.
In some places, women, children, animals before the man. And
that's in terms of strength rather than
no. There's a reason why it is like that.
Right.
There's a reason why it is like that. So if we even go to the mental part, yes, I know they are very strong women. The stronger the woman, the more she has been through. If you show me a strong woman, I'll show you a woman that has been through hell and back. Now, that same woman that you think is strong, it will still jam man when pass out. When it will still breaking walls. But it's not the same for men. I used an example earlier that if we stated, look at Oscar Maduka. He had one of the biggest companies in Nigeria. He became a pastor. He didn't drop his company. I think if that was a woman, she would most likely drop the company and follow Jesus. Fact. So I don't think that. I mean, they are very strong women. I won't dispute that. But every woman has a momo button somewhere. It's just for the man to figure it out. And now we
Just
men
like every man have.
yes,
Just like
no.
have their
You see the
own
difference
good
between
button.
difference between man and women, with men and women. Men, our move button is out in the open, in the sense that men that is and Victor on here right now. It only takes one thing for you to turn us into Momo. You don't need to go far. You don't need to even be strategic with us. There is something you will do right now. You will have.
I said it, just do your check like this.
Sleeping in your DM right now. There's something, Remy, you will do right now if you want to have 1,000 DMs to do tomorrow. But for our own is known. But for the women, it's different. You see, I hear the funniest pattern. I'll tell you this, and you might not agree, but this is my opinion. I think the more strategic a woman is, the easier it is for them to fall. That's what I believe. So that's my own 2 cents. Peace and love. I'm in the gym. Let me put in the work. Brother.
Is it upper body? Is it chest?
No, I did some cardio. I'm doing some shoulders.
Right.
You know. Yeah. No.
You guys trying to contend for Mr. Universe?
No. You know, bro. You need to keep your body, mind, and soul.
True. I get you. Enjoy.
Yeah, bring Dr. John J.
As for me, I think everybody, you all have spoken well.
He didn't send me a request. I sent him a request. It's not ready. I sent him a request. He didn't accept.
I'll just echo what everybody has said, to be honest. Men and women are obviously not the same. Whoever had the delusion that men and women are the same, I think that one came with all this, with the rise of feminism, with the hijack of feminism, because feminism in its true context makes sense. So men and women are not the same. That's one point. My second point is, like what Remy said, Remy made examples of temperament and all that. Those are psychological traits, and that's a fact. Hormonal too, definitely. So they all form part of what makes us do what we do. And because men and women are not the same, that's why they say men can be very logical, while women can be very emotional. Of course, we still have...
Sorry, Vic.
Sorry, what did you say?
No, sorry, Vic. I was just telling DS that someone is here.
Who is there?
Okay. So we've got some exceptions to the rules, obviously. But here we're talking about generalization. So when we are looking at it generally, like for example, I used to have this, not that I used to have, she's still alive, thank God. This auntie of ours in my family, she was doing very well. She was a boss in one of the biggest banks in Nigeria. And she now joined a very popular church that we all know. The one that they don't wear earring and all. So you guys, you know what I'm talking about. And all of a sudden, this is a woman that travels everywhere. Her house was lovely. She had the best of everything. Her flat screen TV was from one wall to another wall. You know, people that they love life and they have nice things. Immediately, one pastor just started whispering one or two things to her. She took an hammer and she used her hand to destroy the TV that she was watching bad things and all. So this is a woman that has multiple degrees. So being intelligent is not the problem. Being educated was not a problem. But sometimes when they grab you, and a man will likely not do that, and that's a fact. You just don't join a religion or listen to someone in a robe that is carrying a Bible, and you will change your life 360 degrees, not for good, but the worse, because they had to call a family meeting, of course. They wasn't going to listen. Now, when you see her now, she's like the shadow of herself. She didn't even sell most of them. She gave them out. All her jewelries are gold and everything. Like her life just went from 100 to 10.
She just had an Ejiro.
Yeah, she became this one is an adult that I used to like look at her like this. This is my poor auntie, you know. But so that things like this happen, and I'm sure we all have examples of women around us in our family, friends that are falling victim. Will I call them? Will I use the word victim? Because, like I always tell people, if you are a man and you're married, watch the kind of women you marry. Because if you marry the wrong woman, it would have led your whole family astray. Because, okay, if you go to these things that they watch, that they send me things every day, I just block the people. All these what God cannot do, whatever. Most of the people that send it to me are women. And that's the truth. And I'm wondering why. Because most of the people that tune in are women. Do you get what I mean?
Okay,
Because
Vic, my
they're looking
battery is
for
dying.
things
I
that
want
are not-
Dr. John J2 to quickly share his words. There's so many people lining up to come. I don't know why everybody
Yeah.
wants to talk about
They
this.
are looking for things that is not lost. So I don't know. But anyway, that's my wish. Well, yeah, I'm just confirming what everybody has said. There's nothing new. There's nothing new here, really.
God bless you, brother. John J. Mabinu, I've been on this for almost 3 hours now. So,
Dr. Donje, good evening.
good evening.
Dear,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I have to leave.
Fantastic, my darling sister. So, John J.
When you come back later now,
Huh?
since you need to leave. When you come back later, Abby,
Shame
you
me.
say you need to leave.
Or
That's
Remy?
what you said.
Yeah. I need to round off, but I just wanted you to. Remy, wait, let's hear his own perspective and then you can go.
I mean, most of the things you said make sense, but I just don't like when you say you met more women, therefore, this. That meeting more women is not research.
But it's randomized research. It's randomized.
It's not random.
No, there is non-random and there is random. Randomized research can be a pool of everybody in Lekki that you talk to. Do you understand? Non-randomized is more strategic.
You meet women, you don't do any research.
No, you see, what I'm saying is, I talked to 100 women, and I got a certain result from this 100 women. Where did I pull these women from? Across my followership: Nigeria, UK, US, and Canada. Let me give you one of my findings. Out of 80 people I talked to in 2018 that were women who were having marital crisis, 60 of the 80 had cheated on their partners at least once, and 40 of the 80, which is about half, were in relationships outside their marriages. Baba, I'm a trained sociologist and I know how to do research and I know how to do statistics. I might not be at the top of my game. Does not mean I don't know how to. Now,
I think so.
That is what you call a randomized sample. Is not, it wasn't strategic. We weren't looking for 8 to 10-year-olds. We weren't looking for anything strategic. It's just people come, you ask them a question, and from 80 people, if you can pick, I'm sure if I did the 80 people today again, the number will vary. If I did the 80 people only in the UK, the number will vary. You understand what I'm talking about? But it can give you an insight. And I will have a clearer insight probably than you, and you have a clearer insight than Remy. I'll explain to you why. Because I'll have a larger population sample than you do, but you as a doctor will also have a larger population sample than Remy. Take care, Remy. You understand what I'm saying? So
yeah, I mean that's fine. I think you're drawing inferences based on discussions you've had.
Yes.
And that makes sense. That's fair. But what I want to say is, women, again, most of the things you said are right. Now, just some of those ones, you get as it be. But women are more likely to be coerced into doing things. Well, it's not because of hormones.
No. You see, hormones is part of it. When a woman is ready to commit to buy herself because of her child, it's not hormones now. Hormones is more of the man-woman part. You understand?
Yeah, okay.
A woman, yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? I want to just
I
explain
said,
that.
yeah, I understand. I
So when
understand
I
what you're
said
saying.
women are hormonal, a woman is not hormonal towards her child. She might snap more today, she might cry more tomorrow because of the fluctuations of her estrogen versus testosterone in her system, which is built in by the chemicals in her body that are meant to induce something every month. However, when it comes to certain decisions, a woman is more emotional. A woman is more likely to take a decision without thinking it through properly, without thinking of how it will affect her husband. Like the story of the woman I gave who wanted to have a child for her sister because her sister couldn't conceive. And then her husband said he will divorce her if she did. And the woman called me to report her husband that she made a mistake marrying him, that he has no empathy. And by the time I talked to the man for 30 minutes, I was on his side immediately because the man sat down and gave me all the reasons why he took that decision. And none of them was emotional. Oh, yes, your sister doesn't have a child, and it's a great thing for you to give her a child. But your last three pregnancies were extremely hard for you and for me. The woman will take the decision, get into it, and realize that this is a problem. The man will foresee the problem before going into it at all. That, in its own way, brings a bit of distinction to and color to the conversation.
But what you're saying, I get you. But with the example of the woman you just made now, she didn't make that decision. I know it's emotional, but you call emotional also hormonal. It could be other things, you know. There are other factors that makes us do what we do. Don't you think so?
Yeah. Yeah, and simply, I wish I could summarize all the things you were typing. There was a time you mentioned hormones, but you mentioned too many other things,
Pathological.
and all those other things. That captures everything. I don't disagree with much of what DF said. It's just that some of it, that IQ thing, they use bamboozle us, and I don't agree. But generally, women are more, now IQ, they use IQ bamboozle us, yes, and it's fair. Now, animal farm with it. But here's the thing. Women are raised, they are socialized to be more agreeable generally in life. This is how they are raised. Therefore, people take advantage of these things. Women are actually more intelligent, emotionally intelligent, and empathetic. And therefore, this emotional intelligence and empathy is sometimes used against them and causes them to do things. I think, again, he said the hormonal part was more of the man-woman stuff. I think that's a bit overestimated, but it did. The other one where he talks, say, when he be bad boy, in the know, he go look woman, he go don't check in calendar, he go know say this and this. But nobody do that one. You just get fine boy advantage. I think people you know they do any.
No, you see, Baba, let me tell you something. Let me explain something to you. Let me explain something to you. If you've been with many, it also comes with experience. By the time you don't deal with like 20, hold on. By the time you don't deal with like 20 women, you can predict their mood. There's what you call the long game. Some women, you see, let me tell you, women that play the short game are often more confusing to a man than women that play the long game.
Bro, what you're saying now is even what before you were painting a picture like you had a crystal ball to now.
It's not, you see, when I say I have a crystal ball, hold on, Vic. When I say I have a crystal ball, there are certain parameters that must be met. One, she must first like me.
Okay.
That is I'm not talking about a random. I'm not talking about walking into your house and seducing your wife. I'm talking about a woman that first thing, because I try to make it clear so that people seem to miss the little point. There must already be an attraction, and I must be aware of the attraction. And in my favor, if she is unaware of the attraction, it helps me. If she's aware, she might put up a block. Okay. So I must be able to read between the lines. Now, the long game requires me picking her brain over a period. What does she like? What does she like being done to her? what are the complaints she had from her ex. You understand?
While you are in the friend zone.
While I'm in the friend zone, I am the one strategizing or strategizing. I beg your pardon. Now, after that, where do we go from there? I know she likes sweet smelling guys. But remember that whether you are smelling good or not, if she doesn't like you, that smell good will be, she might just give you a compliment, but it will not be. But see, she has already liked you. That's the first foundation. Before this strategy can work, the woman must like you and she must genuinely like you.
Yeah.
Now, two, some women they're not crazy about, they don't want you to come there smelling of body odor, but they're not crazy about how you smell. They don't want you coming with dirty nails, but they don't want one beard here, then three here, then they're not crazy about that grooming, but they just don't want you dirty. You understand? While some women want you squeaky clean.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things that I noticed that have worked in my advantage is a woman is easiest to prey upon, and I use the word prey upon because as a player you are a prayer, you are a predator. You understand? When they are emotionally, so when you play the long game, one of the things that comes up is her boyfriend broke up with her, she failed an exam, she's crying, and you are there. That's magic. The second one is you are working with her ups and downs in her cycle, and when you know she's ovulating, 5 days, 6 days, make yourself available every day. Make sure you smell good, she likes smell every day. Make sure you are funny, she likes funny guys every day. 90% you go chop. I'm not saying it's 100%, but
they don't go toward ovulation again.
Baba, let me tell you something. This thing still happened to me about 10 years ago. I was having a conversation with a girl that normally would not invite me over, and she invited me over, and I went to see her. Me, I dey play long game for my mind. The girl don't day already, and now ovulation. Now let me now mess it up. Hold on. Now I want to say something and end and allow you to talk.
Okay.
In this generation, if you follow Gen Zs, ovulation is a reason why they cheat. No. They will give you, why did you cheat on me? Ovulation. Make I call Gen Z. Just wait. We had this conversation the other day. Just wait. I will call Gen Z. Amara.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something while he's not here, and I'll tell you when he comes back. His research is nonsense. You know why? Because he already has mixed race advantage.
Baba just they use your own personal experience. Packages.
If the set was connected with everybody mixed race, when you mix race, you find when you go and you come get
See, you know that's why you go complex that everybody had as Dudu. You can't get one boy maybe where they for these Lagos, Niger,
simply because
that one alone is an advantage.
Exactly. So all this one of they watch ovulation, whether you watch ovulation or not, you go knock because you be Igbo and you fine. And you know poor.
And you sabi talk, you dey flow.
Exactly. Gift of God.
You get swag, you get package. You get small change.
Yeah. And when he comes
when he gets school, he get right.
Then he gets
everything. Now. It's a realistic thing.
Come.
Eh?
No, he knows now. See.
Baba, just be calming down. Just be calming down. Come, close the door. I don't bring Jen. You see, let me tell you something. Una go they argue from old men perspective. This is one of the reasons. Can you calm down? Can you calm down? Wait. Okay, calm down. This is one of the reasons why I said I have a larger population I tap from than you. Come, Amarachi. On Sunday, we're having an argument. Wait. The argument was on what? Are men polygamous in nature? One of the defenses that the women brought was, what are the excuses women today give when they cheat?
They are ovulating.
Come and say it.
They are ovulating.
Who said it, Amarachi?
All the three, I was with Gen Zs. all of them said that. Am I lying? Was it only you that said it?
Bro.
So
They
if
said yes.
today, waiting now, if today ovulation is one of the reasons that women present to their boyfriends if they catch them cheating, why I was ovulating, we cannot rule it out of the equation.
Bro, you're missing a point here. Yes, that's what they said, but was that true? You have to, let's
We
the
can't.
truth. That's what we're looking at. That's the excuse. The excuse is not the truth.
You see, you can't ask me why did I not come live yesterday night, and I say because I was in Switzerland. There has to be an element of truth. It might not be true in every instance, but there has to be what you call an element of truth. It has to have happened to 1 or 2 people out of 10, so the remaining 3 or 4 are using it as an excuse. But that they will just con it out of thin air is impossible.
Yeah, I liken this same ovulation excuse as somebody doing something and says it's the devil that made me do it.
No.
May I come in? May I come in?
Let the doctor come in and explain biology to you.
May I come in?
Dr. John James.
Please, I don't disagree. I don't know why you go bring Amarachi come. I don't disagree with what you say.
We are not disagreeing.
No, Vic, you are disagreeing. You are saying it does not exist.
Who says not? Who says it doesn't exist?
Vic is saying it doesn't exist.
No, I don't think he said that.
No, I didn't say no. Don't get me wrong. I am saying that all those people that are using the excuse of ovulation, it's a very good lie. It sounds well to their ear.
No. Dr. John J, as a medical, even though you are not a gynecologist,
allow me.
give us the medicine of it. Please, bathroom and
what Simply Vic is saying is that
no, just clean.
I'll wait till he's listening.
Leave this one start in the bathroom. I'm done in 5.
What Simply Vic is saying that if 10 girls say I cheated because of ovulation, all 10 of them are not telling the truth.
I agree with that 100% now.
You are still right that the majority are probably, if you link ovulation with honey, you are largely right.
Yeah, that's obvious. That's biological. I understand that. That's not contention here. I'm just saying that. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I won't change another thing. If you want to say one more thing, talk. I want to talk with you.
You know, they don't agree.
May come back. May come back.
Even when you agree with him, you know they hear.
No, he just wanted to make that point clear, I guess.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, so we know all these things. It's like, that's why I use the example. A lot of people do nonsense things, but it's easy for them to tell you and I that it's the devil that made me do it. So that 1, they can get away with it. So secondly, no accountability. You get what I mean?
Yeah, ovulation, my cycle.
My cycle made me do it. I see your cycle enter your brain, then it lock your intelligence, then it lock your common sense, then it lock your loyalty and your faithfulness. You can't
exactly. Hold on. Okay, DM, I need your attention for 2 minutes.
Yes, go ahead.
Wait. He wants to do what he wants to do. What do you want to do? Do you need time to do something?
No, I want to go, but I'm just spellbound by this conversation.
2 minutes. See, DF.
Yeah.
Like I said, everything you said, I largely agree with, no problems. Women are not completely hormonal. There's strategy involved, but the younger you are, the more hormonal. Gen Z, perfect. But the one where they talk, that thing where they talk, that your DF 101, where they give us lectures, say you did a long game. Your personal research is flawed. Because 1,
every research on the surface of the earth is flawed.
You never hear it finish. You're taking it serious. He's taking it too serious. Wait, when you hear what I want to, you're going to say at a joke.
Yes.
Your own player research, what you get from your years of player, now rubbish. You know why? Because, number 1, you be mixed race, you be fine boy, you not poor. Therefore, everybody, even if they don't ovulate, they go knock you. So forget that one. That one are rubbish.
Bro.
Even if they don't ovulate, they go knock you.
Even girls that did not like you,
What
when you were younger, they wanted to do.
And you know they do these things to being a socialite. Why they no go? They don't need to ovulate to knock you. They go knock. So that
Do you know that some girls do
sorry. If you conduct your research in a place where everybody's not the same mixed race, everybody.
I didn't hear you.
You don't go again. Then
John Jay, make I give you one example. There was a guy in my secondary school, mixed race boy. His name is Bola.
Yeah.
Bola get girlfriend though. But Bola's girlfriend's friends, they will follow their girlfriend. They will follow Bola's girlfriend to come and see, just to be there where Bola is, because they're already crushing on him. But they are pretending like they came with their friend, as in mistress, and they don't chop life.
Daddy Prince, with all due respect, your personal research and experience is unique because of your uniqueness. You've been a socialite all your life. You sabi talk. You don't the DJ. People like DJ. You know, grow up poor. Motote.
You see, you are echoing my argument, Dr. John J. And I'll bring this back to you. Everything still lies on the fact that initially there was an attraction. No, Vic is not getting it. There was an attraction. See,
I know, I agree, I know, I get it.
So hold on. Let me explain something to you. No matter your fine boy, if a woman no see you as fine, it no go walk. If a woman is not swayed by money, if you like arrive in a Bentley, it will not work.
Well,
you understand what I'm telling you? So money, oh, fine boy, oh, good. Vic, you are interrupting me. Make I talk now. You are just cutting me. You are not allowing me to land. All these things, oh, are advantages. A girl that has the tendency to sleep with you, there's already the tendency there. She has the tendency to sleep with you. The likelihood that she will sleep with you when she's ovulating is higher than when she's not, because she is more in control when she's not. It is harder to stop. Now, if she has never done it before, the fact that she has never done it before is already control. Whether she's ovulating or not, she will have control. But when she has done it before, and you have been able to plug into her innate character traits, the likelihood that you will succeed is higher. You see, when it comes to sociology and psychology, is not engineering. If a plane is flying at 34,000 feet and encounters a wind of 35 knots, this and this and this is not. You see, with psychology, that's why they were asking a psychologist, a psychiatrist, how many people have you cured? He started to look around. It's not like malaria. When it comes to things of the mind, I studied sociology. I can ask a question: is Nigeria on a political tangent? And Dr. John J says yes, and Simply Vic says no, and the two of them get 100%. The answer is not the answer. The answer is the argument you present to the answer. So there are varying degrees to all of this. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So what I'm trying to say, you see, when I say, you are reading me in the absolutes. Do you? No, Vic, you two argue. No, you are. You see, my problem is what I am saying, I need you to say. Are there women that have had everything before and it did not work? Many. Are there women that none of the parameters were in place, but it still happened? Many. What I am talking, and this was what I was also telling Remy. I said, when I say men are polygamous, it is max 70% of men. When we say men are polygamous, we are dealing with a majority. Does not mean that there is a good 20% that are absolutely not polygamous, and under any guise or circumstance, they will not be polygamous.
yes.
And when we say ovulation varies from woman to woman. Some women are more likely because they are more, how do I put it? Ovulation is also like alcohol. Let me tell you something. Another factor that works. It's just that you can't try this strategy now. Those days used to work. Just take a girl, have all the things you have, whether she's ovulating or not, give her good quality wine.
Really? Don't be lying.
Baba, they don't do them to my girlfriend before. And they tell my babe, say, when you go out, don't drink. The girl, they always argue, I'm in control. That's so they knock my babe.
Bro, all of us get experience. The
So
experience,
so you can't. Now there are some women that are like stones. If you like, pour one keg of palm wine on top of the stone, you go just absorb them.
very few. And they're very few. There are exceptions to the rule. There are very few. Those ones will be like stone when they agree. See, I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing at all. There's nothing I've said. I've said hormonal, I've said temperament, I've said everything. They all are all the factors that contribute to how people behave.
So don't say what you agree with me. Say what you disagree, because you are coming like you are disagreeing with me, and then you are agreeing with all the points. So where do you disagree?
No. I didn't come on this live to come and disagree with you. That's not why I came.
Then I'm not getting it. Okay, so Dr. John J, where do you disagree with me? Because if not, it looks like we are all saying the same thing.
You want us to disagree? Is that what you want?
Because it seemed like you were disagreeing.
Okay.
The only part is Dr. J that only disagree with you.
Okay, so Victor, I thought you were disagreeing with me. So you are now saying, that's why I was countering you. That you are saying everything I'm saying, and then you are saying you are disagreeing with me.
You know your problem, bro. You know they listen sometimes. You know they listen.
No, I didn't listen.
Excuse me. Allow me to moderate this. Please help me out.
Please moderate.
The DF. There is what's that thing. You need to drink cold water. Because even when you bring the argument, they say he agree. He hasn't disagreed. I think the only thing he was saying earlier is that let's not point the man matter to just hormones.
But I never did that from the beginning.
They hear me now. They hear me. I said which you didn't do, but in some parts, some statements were like you are doing that. But overall, it's
Thank
fine.
you, John J. In some statements, it felt like that was what he was leaning on more.
Exactly.
And I was now saying it was not a disagreement. I was adding to it. Does that make sense?
Exactly, and that's it. So here's where I disagree with you. You are not in based on your player life. You are not an authority in this matter because your experience.
Because I have an advantage. Okay.
Your experience is flawed due to the advantage you have.
We have listed all the advantage.
Exactly. Your advantage is flawed. Your advantage is flawed. So therefore, we know anybody we want to use your research, say that if we say play long game, do this, well, you're not going to see anything chop.
In 2025, you're not going to see crickets.
That's all. So we're not saying now network vibes, man is just vibes and reality.
No, it's not fun and games, man. I don't know.
Everything, everywhere good now.
Everywhere has always been good. No, you know, sometimes the fun is in the disagreement, so we can banter.
Is it my fault to disagree with you?
No, sometimes the fun is in the banter. Because, you see, let me tell you something, yeah? Sometimes, no vex, one phone don't buy, and nobody don't buy my money gone. Anyway, today was supposed to be like preaching. You see, sometimes the fun is in the banter. The learning curve is also in the banter. When we are dealing with something as fragile as women, a topic as fragile as women, because no matter how much experience we have as men, we'll always be men.
Absolutely.
So whether you're a gynecologist, you've seen all the women before, whether you are a pastor, you have all the women have come to cry their problem to you before, you are still not a woman. So you can always experience what you call secondhand pain and secondhand emotions. A woman who has gone through ovulation can experience, you can only estimate it with something that sounds like what you've been through before, but you don't have the apparatus to experience it. So in that regard, we are all flawed. So we can talk about our experiences and say, because I've been with quite a few women, this worked and this didn't work. There are some women, I can tell you, hold on, sorry, before you say anything. There are some women that, are you done? There are some women that, they just fell for me because of the way I talk. Because of the conversation. But that thing is real. You will meet some women, there are not many. And there are some women that will fall for you because of what they believe you can give them. You see, so you can't box everybody. That has all, but you see, it's just like when you go and meet a visa consultant. A visa consultant will tell you, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. Because if you do all this, the likelihood, you'll be amazed that you go and do all those and they still give you the visa.
Yeah, there's no absolute in what they're
Let me
saying.
give you an
It's just based
example.
on what they-
Everything I do on social media is nobody does it on social media. I have no direction, but I'm still growing. You understand? Somebody called me, said, how do you do it? That I watch your page. Your page is all over the place. There's no strategy to your page. Today, you are laughing. Tomorrow, you are cracking a joke. Next day, you are hosting a live. All the things that you are supposed to do that they warned us in, all the people that are experts on social media, all of these are the things they warned us about. I come to your page and you have broken every rule. And yet, you still have 1 million followers. How did you do it? So, in life, rules apply, but there are also the minority that will deviate from the norm and still succeed. So even with
Let me just ask one thing.
yeah,
Somebody said you're a psychologist because they all know. Somebody knows Dr. Johnson is the medical doctor. Somebody said what I'm saying is nonsense. I don't have sense. If you don't know, let me just.
I beg, ignore them. You don't ever see me as today when we are talking. You see, we have cerebral minds from Remy to you to Dr. John J. The days I read comments are the days I'm playing around. When we are having cerebral conversations.
So that they know that I have a master's degree in psychology. Out of many, many more qualifications. So because we know they talk them every second or mention and no mean say we don't go to school. So let's just keep it moving. Thank you.
It's good to let people know once in a while. Like Ikobella, when I say A, she's saying A minus or A plus. I don't understand. I don't give up. But anyway, I have no objections. Everywhere is good. I agree with you. But no, they use that IQ, they bamboozle us. I don't agree when I did here.
You see, anytime you come, anything where you feel say I did wrong, point it out. Sometimes a matter of explanation.
Not wrong. I don't make you wrong.
Wrong. We're just asking.
What I'm trying to say is sometimes I have a picture. Have you ever had this problem before? You have a 3-dimensional picture in your mind, but you have a 2-dimensional paper to draw it.
Yeah.
You understand? So the image in your mind is 3-dimensional, but all you have is a pen and a paper. How do you squeeze it? Do you understand? So it sounds right to me in my head, but unless I put flash drive in my ear and pull it out and put it in your own ear and download it directly from my head to your head, as long as I have to bring it out of me and explain it to get into you, there will always be loopholes.
Somewhere. Fair enough.
So sometimes that's why sometimes I bring people in to punch holes in my theory so that if I'm representing it, I can do a better job. It's not sometimes I come when I'm teaching Bible, core Bible. There are very few people that I allow to disagree with me because your disagreement with me is going to, you don't know it. Someone like Vic, for instance, Vic is a scholar. So Vic can disagree with me biblically. You understand? Vic is the only person I respect when it comes to Bible. Hold on. When it comes to Bible, the only person I respect is Vic. I can almost say my entire life that I know, people that I can call one-on-one or that I know, is the only person that I respect and I see and I run ideas by. But that is Bible.
You will know from the way you type self.
Good. Now, when I know that you are not on that level, I will not entertain a conversation. Because your conversation, because your conversation is going to keep taking me back and I'm never going to get to my point. But you see, when it comes to a matter of women, I learn from my children my daughter that I brought to come and talk is 21 years old. She's not even fully 21 yet. Do you understand what I'm telling you? So it is a matter of women. Come back in 3 minutes, I'm done. It is a matter of women. You understand what I'm saying? I have to respect anybody that carries a VJ, even if she's 18 years old. Because it gets us the thing, the pepper and with me, and if you ever understand for this life. And let me tell you something about women. There is a wide range of women. There's one extreme, they see blood, blood, they put pad and everything is fine. There is the second extreme, 3 days before the thing starts, they are in the hospital and they are in the hospital throughout. That's another extreme. So a gender that has one extreme that has never felt cramps before and another extreme that has to literally be hospitalized for cramps. How do you make a judgment over such a gender?
True.
So Remi's input is necessary, but I also understand its limitations. Her sample study is always going to be very small and intimate. Remi is not a club owner. Remi is not a pastor. Remi is not that kind of person that comes in contact with 2,000 women a year.
The monitoring spirit.
Do you understand? So I will respect her input, but I will always understand its limitations. Her sample study at best is going to be maybe 5 to 10 people, max 20 people. My sample study, yes.
Simply because wait, you know, agree.
My sample study is over 1,000. Dr. John Jay's sample study might be over 200 or 300.
Bro, I remembered years ago when I was doing my thesis. No, before my thesis, I wrote a term paper on emotional intelligence. And this was before emotional intelligence was anything popular. I think they only had one author then. Just one popular American author wrote really a book on it. And I wanted to write it as my thesis. And I could remember the professor was saying, don't you think, because even it's a topic they don't want to talk about because there's not a lot of materials on it then.
Nebulous.
And she was asking me, are you sure you're not going to be stuck? So I had to change it to group cohesiveness and group dynamism. That was what I wrote on.
Yeah. I get it. So again.
Also, and I took samples from different, because I was writing on a lot of things. I wrote on things that were psychosocial, physiological, psychophysiological, stress, types of stress, eustress, distress, hyperstress, stuff like that.
Things that can be measured. Things that can be more easily measured than emotional.
Exactly. So I had to use not just if a questionnaire could not do. I had to use an opinionaire too.
Yeah.
Samples, opinions, going to different places. I went to the market to sample people's ideology on why a group of people do better versus this group of people. They had to create hypotheses. They had to test the hypothesis. Oh, Lord. But it was fun. It was fun. So, we get samples. We never do it practically, but sample na sample.
And
I
did hear you.
Yeah, they use. Anyway, it's okay.
Because look at the population.
You have a bigger sample than most people, but it is not research. It is just that you met more people.
But how does research start?
I understand.
You understand? For instance, now, we can do some research here. Hold on, we can do some research here. Do you think divorce in America favors men more than it favors women?
So that's your first hypothesis.
That's a
null hypothesis.
Do you understand?
Okay.
And you can build something out of it. Now, it might not be a Harvard approved, peer reviewed research, but that you cannot call it research. Do you understand? Just ordinary say I want to sell chicken. I go around my neighbors when I want to buy chicken, and 50% say no, now turkey we they eat, and I start selling turkey. That's already research.
So that I agree with you. The difference between this and I've met more women is that this, you came in with a plan to do this, get these answers and use it for something. The other one is just every day meeting people and such. Everything you say is okay. I'm good. But I like the fact that you sometimes what you said, 3D picture, you only have 2D, and therefore sometimes to come out somehow, bringing people may help you shape it up more. Everywhere is good. We are on our side. Praise Yahushua and everybody. Let's go and pop money gun the time.
Oh yeah, let's go and pop money gun so we can start going. Oh yeah, money gun time. Thank you so much, Vic.
For 3 hours now. You guys are not showing love. I beg.
Thank you so much. You kept me for 3 hours, oh. Eh?
People should show love now.
Show love, show love, show love.
We're not begging, no. We're not begging, no. But please.
That's always getting A minus when I say A. Show love. Pass the money.
We're not begging, no.
Then Dr. John J, me and you get conversation, no. I remember you hit me up and you still have not remembered what you hit me up for.
I know say you no go let me rest.
Lie, I don't feel let you rest. So that one we must talk out.
Bro, we get this later.
Me and you, Vic, again?
Yeah, no, now to our own personal gist. No.
Oh, okay. I go call you once I'm done now. Hey, Maze, just pop my money gun. Oh yeah, pop the money gun. Pop.
Correct.
Pop the money gun.
My money guns. Go to
Tap the
Facebook.
screen.
That FRZ.
Facebook don't even die. For the phone don't buy. Facebook phone don't buy.
Bro, put your account number. Put your Zenith account number there.
Zenith account number. That one works.
I'm in the spirit.
100131
Somebody should bring that
7326. 100131 7326.
I almost forgot. Tomorrow is my wedding anniversary.
Woo! And my birthday is in 6 days now.
Yeah, you are 6th. Me, 1st of May, man. 11 years married. You know, easy.
1st of May is 11 years of marriage. Or more you try.
Yeah. 11 years. No be beans, man. No be ponerology.
Which ones are those? Let me see. That's 250 ml.
Yeah, I have 4 of these in different ways. And I have 1 liter of one of them.
Show me. Wait. Which ones are those?
Can we explain?
John J, which ones are those?
Just big liter. You know they here. I don't they find out.
Dr. John J, which ones are those?
This one is Noah de Noah. This one is Beau de Jour.
Yeah,
not my favorite. Beau de Jour is nice, but it's not my. Which one else do you have?
I have a small bottle of that.
These are like 1K perfumes, though.
This one is 1 liter.
Which one be that one?
This one is Tuscan leather.
Tuscan leather, that's still Tom Ford, though.
Yeah.
I don't know, say he be Tom Ford guy. Oh.
I pack everything there, but I moved on to other.
What have you moved on to?
Harrods. Okay.
Are you a Creed guy?
I'll buy it online, then I'll go on your website.
I have 2 creeds. This is my favorite creed. This one is my favorite creed. Milesma Imperial.
Is too common. That's what everybody likes. It's a lovely fragrance.
No.
The bottle is beautiful.
This is not the common one. Aventus is the one that's common. Yours too is not common. Aventus is the
You've seen that my own. Let me show you.
No, Aventus came out before this one. That's why.
Yes. Aventus is the common one, and I don't really like that one. But right now, I just have my taste is just all over the place.
You know what I mean?
I'm not a Creed person, but these are my 2 creeds. This is Virgin Island water. Very rare. Virgin Island water.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then this is my favorite, Centaurus. This Centaurus is the best of all my creeds I've ever used. This is my favorite.
Daddy Freeze gets nice collections though.
If I bring it on phone, I will scatter everywhere.
Oh, Daddy Freeze will get almost more than 100. Wait, Daddy. Bro, how many bottles do you have now?
Professor Simply Vic, Daddy Freeze the learn work.
Baba, Dr. John J. want to turn to competition. Do you have this?
No competition. But
do you know what this is?
See, in the Bible.
Cafe Rose. Cafe Rose, Tom Ford.
Yeah, that's an old Tom Ford. Yeah.
No, this is a new one. No? Less than 2 years old. I'm sure you know what this is.
Now that's an old one.
Yeah, this is oud. This is ombre leather. Ombre leather.
Let's not get into perfumes, please. No, just leave out.
Come, it's only Tom Ford you buy.
No, I don't. If you start perfume, I go just sleep for you. I don't want to sleep for you. Time don't go.
Baba, now sleep. I won't make you sleep now because me, I don't vex.
You know they come bring everything out.
Baba,
See, Dr. John J, don't be tempted. Don't take
Dr.
the
John J,
challenge.
take the. See, this is Eau de Soleil Blanc,
Yeah.
Tom Ford. Of course, the staples. You've got to have the staples. Dr. John J, what are you without the staples?
Daddy freeze.
Black orchid and then velvet orchid.
Mr. Ifedayo Olarinde, honorable.
My favorite,
Honorable
Lost Cherry.
theologian,
My all-time favorite, Oud Fleur.
social media giant, all around good guy. Watch.
No, did you buy the effing fabulous? The one with
I don't like it. You know me. What I do is I go to a perfume shop, I spray the perfume and walk around. Come back the next day, spray it again. After like 5 days, I now make up my mind.
Simply, he hasn't experienced FF. That's why.
You need to buy FF, bro.
He hasn't experienced it, but that if he's
Are you an FF guy? Don't tempt me with this FF.
Hey, bro, buy one. If you don't like it, dash me.
Daddy freeze. You see all those things that you bring.
Yeah.
I can bring out 5 fragrances that will eat all of them.
No, see, Dr. John J has them in droves.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to fight you. You are the master of most things. But perfumes.
No, perfume, I know they follow you argue. But just know say I also try.
No. You're doing very well, but we're not on the levels that.
No, I get small collections, but I don't know too plenty, shies.
Me, I can bring out 10 million naira in perfumes now. But I know that once I don't see 3 bottles of 250 ml, I just know say person senior me. That's already. I have that 250 ml. I have tobacco vanilla. Let me show you.
Yeah, that's the one you wore. You wore it. You wore that when we were in London, didn't you?
London was more of black orchid.
John J, where you they come?
This thing is 1.4 million naira. Sure, you they see this thing like this? Is 1.4 million naira. This. Dr. John, not the tobacco vanilla. The fact that it's an exclusive Tom Ford and it's 250 ml.
Yeah,
Dr. John J showed 3 of this. Winner.
I have 2 that I didn't show, by the way.
But that's it. As you don't show 3, we don't know.
No. I don't want to leave this place I am. But even right here where I am, I can show you something real quick. I'll set mine and show you 1 second.
Oh yeah, just stretch and show us.
I think here, I know we'll go far. This is from Sweden. Okay, when this is a different level of. So my perfume level is a different level.
That's impressive.
It's like my watch level.
John J. This one that I plug, I mean, this one that you got. John J. You have the plug.
Yes, but this is number 835. This is number 835 or 999. 830 is numbered, so you understand. Let's not leave it there.
John J, you don't see your perfume is like my own eyewear. And I'm told they collect by number. Only if you made. I'm my own.
Now, let me now tell you what my own is. Where now us they dominate now watches.
Watches and cap, bro. You get cap.
I surrender all.
You see, for watches.
You know when I talk, I say
The person where they repair my watches, when I call them say, one day you don't repair, service, the watch no the end. One day the guy come and say, how many watches do you have? I say, Baba.
Your watch now. I go don't lose count. Forget the one way they show. You don't get some old ones.
Where I know they show.
When you don't forget, say you get.
Some day bank. But you see, me, I love good fragrances.
Me and frames are they collect.
I have frames too, but not exclusive frames.
I get shoes now.
No, when it comes to shoes, now Victor. All of us get shoes. Maybe Dr. John J, I've not seen your collection, but Victor will collect shoes.
No, my wife thought one day one day saying you are the only man that I know that has more shoes than some women.
No, Vic gets shoes. He gets shoes across board.
I can
You get
imagine.
shoes across board.
From trainers all the way down to your.
Somebody said no, it's Miyake or Calvin Klein. We get those ones. We know just they count them.
What do you mean? Who they buy Calvin Klein?
But I can show you my Thierry Mugler, John Paul Gaultier. I get all those ones. So John Paul Gaultier, I get 4.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that.
John Paul Gaultier, I get 4, but I don't go. When they count perfume, we they count LV, we they count these exclusive ones, we they count Tom Ford, we they count Creed.
Chanel.
Allow me to help you explain.
Chanel.
Yes. Help you explain. There's colognes, all those other ones. There's designer perfumes. Yes. Then there's niche houses. All these things we're talking about are niche houses. YSL, all those ones, Giorgio Armani, those are all perfumes.
Let me show you something. Right? Even among Tom Ford, this is fragrance. This is the exclusive.
I go rate for you.
Oh yeah, no vex.
I go rate for you. No. Simply allow me 1 more second. Okay. This is how you know the difference.
Oh yeah.
Now, for all this your YSL and all these things, if you go to Boots perfume store, you find them there. These ones you have to go to maybe. I'll focus on London because I'm a London guy. You go to Harrods downstairs, and then you go see all these niche houses. Yeah. But if you want all the CK1, CK2, even some corner store will get them. Even Boots. What are the other pharmacy stores? Those ones are regular. They are nice. But these ones that simply we're talking about.
Can you remember the first aftershave you bought? The first. Yeah, I remember mine. You know, make I tell you.
Tell me.
When it just came out.
Mine was when we get boats, something boats.
You know my first aftershave?
Yeah.
Daffodil, cool water. That was
cool water, and that's a nice perfume. Oh. Even the aftershave and their fragrance, not bad.
I'm talking about 1990.
I still have cool water.
1998, 99. When it first came out. Daffodil, cool water.
I get this small Creed for my briefcase, 30 ml.
Cool water is a great perfume that I always have.
You know till now, when you smell them, you just it bring to give me some memory.
Yeah, I still have cool water. I also have polo spots from my old times. Those ones I always have them. I like them, but these days. My favorite things are leather goods, shoes and stuff, and perfumes.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, Ralph Lauren. We still there inside.
Yeah. Make I show you my regular.
And I don't stand up.
No stand up. No let Dr. John J stand up for your destiny. No, don't end down here. May they not disgrace us.
See, I'm already 45 years old. They talk like they will be 18.
Actually, I have quite a few things around myself.
John J
is okay now. They beg you to go. They do your power.
You know, say I never enter room. John J, if I enter room, I don't come out.
I don't stand though. I just see this is Byredo. This is Rose of No Man's Land. This is Initio, good for greatness, not very common. And then, but another trick now these days is oils, Arabian oils. Those ones are cheap and they all smell nice too. Those are easy wins too.
Do you know what it's like to be called a sneakerhead?
I can imagine you go get boxes somewhere.
I still have all the boxes. See, I'm so bad that I have Jordans 1, 2, 3, 4, and I didn't stop there. I have Jordan low, mid, high tops. Different colorways.
I have one mid, and you know the more designer type ones. Well,
different colorways. I have Nike Air Max, OG, not be irregular where you go see for person Lego.
And you guys have pride in those things because people go they say I have this, you don't have it.
That one. I know they see. You know, not be mouth. I have some regular everyday shoes, obviously, but I have some that I think both say I did one of the few people who get that. And if I go sell them, premium, I don't go even sell them.
Yeah. I was talking to Samaria yesterday. I talked to her about a watch that I have, a Cartier Le Cercle Animalier. Baba, The last offer I got for it, I know to talk am because make I just keep quiet. Now from Middle Eastern prince, where they find that watch. Baba, you see, for shoes, shoes and frames. Vic, they always yap me. My frames are either Gucci, LV, Bulgari, Cartier. I have a Cartier.
Women's section ain't gonna go.
Because now, let me tell you the problem I have. I'm a bling guy.
Yeah. You like it. Oh.
I like something to pop. I'm a stage man. I don't value subtle luxury. It has to be loud. It can be exclusive and loud, or not so expensive or exclusive and loud, but it just has to sparkle.
Me, I'm very different from DF. Me,
Sure you get.
if I wear my glass, if you know, you know. If you don't
Me,
know,
if I wear them, from where I wear them, you go don't know, say something they here.
One of my specs, Mr. Tom Ford. You know where you know Tom Ford? He wear one of my specs. I'm sure if I mention the name here, Jacques Marimange, Tom Ford wears it. I go say, John J, I go send you Tom Ford.
But how? I want to ask a question. How did Tom Ford come from nowhere and dominate the fragrance world? Because Tom Ford is a relative. Tom Ford used to work for Gucci now, if I remember clearly.
He has always been a fashion person. He was designing and all, so it didn't just start from today now.
But no, so many people branched off into fragrances and never got it right.
I know, he's a billionaire. He sold his company, you know, right? He's a billionaire now.
So he doesn't own Tom Ford anymore.
No. He sold the company. It's no more his own. He sold the company to
Anyway, guys, let's round off now. Dr. John J, thanks for all the gist and all the perfumes. Me and you go talk one-on-one. I want to make you show me some of those your perfumes. Make we fit aspire to perspire.
I'll be glad to.
And aside from that, my birthday is 6th of May. You know, if you courier now, I'm not suggesting anything so that you not say I brainwashed you. Like that 1 liter, you can sow into the life of the man of God.
Tom Ford sold his company to Estee Lauder. You know Estee Lauder?
Yeah.
So they sold it for 1 point something billion. So it's a billionaire now. It's no more his own. He has sold it. Estee Lauder now owns anything Tom Ford you have today.
No wonder. Okay, everybody. Good night. Yes?
Good night, everybody.
I'll see you later on tonight. Lovely session. No money guns, only one money gun. Not fair, but I'll see you later. Eko Abiola, I'm going to put a call through to you. We haven't talked in a while. We should. Take care, everybody else. God bless you. Love you all.
We'll chat later. We'll chat.
All right, boss.
Amara, over to you.